Lagos, good afternoon. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. Collation is ongoing across Nigeria except for the places where INEC could not ensure voting. This is the Mandate 2023. I'm back again. Good to have you here on the show with me. Thank you so much for sticking with Nigeria Info throughout our Election Day coverage. We are proud to be your source for reliable, up-to-the-minute information as Nigerians choose their next president and 10th National Assembly. I'm going to be with you for the next 2 hours, so we're going to be here until 4 o'clock, maybe a bit longer. We do hear that INEC's Collation Center, with the National Collation Center, will open at 6 p.m. Open at 6 p.m. I didn't expect that, but okay. Joining me to provide analysis on all the updates we have at the moment is political affairs analyst in his spare time, Chief Andy Obuoforibo. Welcome back to Mandate 2023.
Thanks for having me back.
Lagos, I also want to talk to you, right? We have a lot to talk about. There's so much going on. INEC's failures with electronic transmission is the biggest one. I expected Mahmoud Yakubu to discuss it today when he did the press conference at 12. He didn't. We'll talk about attempts by voters to checkmate result substitution at collation centers. That's going on. Rivers is a hotbed at the moment, I hear. We'll talk about violence and voter intimidation here in Lagos and elsewhere. I hear that in places today where elections were being conducted, thugs disrupted again. But first of all, let me take you to a conversation that Channels TV had with Akin Oshuntokun, the Director General of the Labour Party Presidential Campaign Council. He had so much to say. I want to hear it because they were talking right before I walked into the studio. So we're both going to be listening at the same time. Lagos, are you ready? All right, let's listen.
Deliberate connivance or conspiracy, between the INEC and some forces that I don't know. But before I go on, one peculiar thing is that the other two parties seem to have been contented with the conduct of the election so far, irrespective of all that we have witnessed. Not only that was particularly addressed at us, violence, snatching of ballot boxes, and so on and so forth. And then, of course, there is a little bit of selective application of the ground rules as laid down by INEC itself.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. At the point. Sorry, just a moment, Mr. Oshutoku. Just a second. Just a second, Mr. Oshutoku. When you said that the other parties have seem to be content, I don't think that's absolutely correct. There's been a statement that's been issued by the APC following your statement, which, to put it mild, briefly, what they said was that it's not that they've not noticed that anything has gone wrong, but that they are prepared to wait for the results process to be complete before making any comments or before taking any action one way or the other. I don't know if you've seen that comment or that statement.
No, I wouldn't doubt what you have stated, what you have said. There are a number of issues here, right? At what stage are results from the polling units due to be uploaded to the server? Do you wait till all the results, you have all the results, like seems to be the case, and waiting till this afternoon to do so, or you upload them as they come in? I'm of the view that that should be the case. As you get the result from the polling units, you upload them to the next stage. This has not happened. Secondly, is the fact that prior to the election, INEC was conscious of the fact that some ballot papers did not feature the candidacy of candidates at the senatorial and House of Representative stage. Now, when we pointed this out a few days ago, they accepted the fact and apologized, but said it is not a mistake. Now, that they were aware that it was reflecting court judgments. They were saying at one point the appeal court's judgment was that gave a judgment against the inclusion of candidates. The Supreme Court overturned that decision, and the decision of the Supreme Court came about 2 weeks ago, which had given the INEC sufficient time to amend its records accordingly. They didn't do that. And if they didn't do that, I would have imagined that immediately before the election starts or something, they should have notified that there is a case like this, on ground, and that they are aware of it and that this is the remedy. They didn't do that until we approached them and pointed this out. And then the INEC commissioner yesterday announced a remedy, which was very notable on account of the being so cumbersome, that I will find it difficult to do what they are doing, that in case that you have a ballot paper that does not reflect your candidacy, something is a voter, somewhere is a blank sheet is attached where you can write or some kind of funny things all over the place. And many reports of violence, in Lagos, Rivers particularly, but generally all over the country. And that again seems surprising to me, because hitherto there were people expressing concern at the prevalence of soldiers on the streets or in the neighborhood of Lagos. So I was wondering that where were these soldiers when all this violence was being wreaked on people. Now, there was also the case of when I spoke with some diplomats who said that INEC said that nationally they had a problem with the server. Now, again, if you are going to conduct a very critical election, shouldn't you have anticipated that this can occur and then have a fallback option, right? That is number one. So it looks a bit suspicious to me. The second
did you take
one
sorry,
is that
Mr. Shitoku, did you? Sorry, Mr. Shitoku, sorry. I don't want you to forget your train of thought, but I just wanted to find out, when these diplomats you spoke to who talked about, the problem with the server that INEC reportedly talked about with them, did you take up INEC on the subject, and if so, what did they tell you?
Take INEC on the subject?
Yes, I mean about the issue of the server, that they were having problems with the server.
Some of my colleagues did. I didn't.
Okay.
And I have no reason to doubt what they did. I can't hear what you are saying.
What I'm saying is that I'm asking the question.
Tell you what I didn't do.
No, I'm asking the question. If it was taken up with INEC, what did INEC say? What did INEC say? Did INEC confirm that they were having problems? Because they have not admitted that publicly, that they are having problems with their servers. That's why I'm asking.
Well, listen, I cannot imagine that they will be lying to those diplomats. And again, to answer the question, they did accept. That was one of the excuses being given, that the server, they had problem with the servers. That was why it was not directly uploaded. But I was going to say that at a comparable stage in 2015, because I've noticed an element of passivity among the international observer community in this election. At the comparable stage in 2015, not only did President Barack Obama specifically addressed Nigeria, on the election, the significance of it, and so on and so forth. The Secretary of State, John Kerry, at almost, exactly the same stage, when INEC was dragging its feet, or so it seemed, in coming forth with the result of the election, John Kerry issued a statement on behalf of the American government that the INEC should proceed immediately, that they should go ahead, and release the results. That delaying it or whatever it is giving cause for concern. This time around, I've not seen anything to that effect. So these are the number of issues that, I would have been, urged by some of the members of international communities to enjoin our supporters and Nigerians to be calm about this development. Now, of course, if I were to reflect the kind of anger, frustrations and bitterness that I have personally received across the board, I don't know what I will be. What I'm doing now can be considered very mild, in channeling those emotions. So these are the issues. For me, particularly, I've never had high hopes of this INEC. When people point out the fact of beavers and so on and so forth, that it is practically impossible to manipulate with beavers, I said, look, if I look at the pedigree of this particular INEC, they don't particularly strike me as people with noble intentions or those who will do the right thing. The 2019 elections being an example of what happened. And so I've always said, look, to give them the benefit of the doubt is a little bit difficult for me, and they have acted true to type, And that's why I asked the initial question. What is the process of collation? Results are released at the polling units. When are they due to be uploaded? Apparently, they are due to be uploaded almost immediately. Hence, they reported that the problem was the server. Now, if you are operating, you have a critical election as we do have today. Shouldn't you have anticipated that something can go wrong with the INEC server and made a fallback, rectitude, for it?
Mr. Shitoko.
Okay, so now what if the server continues to fail? Are we going to continue to wait, theoretically, for days to get these results uploaded? So this is a challenge to them, and they should best look, in this kind of situation, you must not only be transparent, you must be seen, to be transparent and credible.
Mr. Shitoko, let me jump in here. Because you did mention hearing from diplomats and, that INEC reportedly said that its servers were down. I know that hearsay is not admissible in court, so, that's another issue for another day. But the INEC chairman had two briefings yesterday, and he had the third one, which is when he opened, the National Collation Center. Now, in his first and second briefing, which I'm sure you followed, didn't that address some of the earlier challenges which you've mentioned that was experienced on election day yesterday, and then today the process of the collation, and then hopefully the results being released today?
That's addressed nothing. What I'm saying are the questions that at what stage are you supposed to upload the result of the election? I presume that once an election has been accepted or gotten at the polling unit, you do so directly. You don't need to wait. You are supposed to release the result as it comes. If that is the case, we are now being told that INEC server failed from the word go, from the first a result that came out in yesterday's election, maybe about 3 p.m. or 2 p.m. And then subsequently, the server failed all over the country. Now,
well, Mr. Oshutoku, I'm surprised that you're saying that, because I'm sure you are aware, Mr. Oshutoku, I'm sure you are aware that some of the results have in fact been posted onto the IREF. So it's not as if no results are there. There are some results that are there. And the point, just to speak to the point that you made about, you know, the INEC server being down, you didn't hear that from INEC yourself. You said you were told by diplomats, you know, who had allegedly been told by INEC. So I'm wondering, you know, shouldn't you exercise some caution basing your comments on, you know, what is third-party comments, not something INEC told you directly? Because as Millicent pointed out, INEC has held 3 briefings between the start of the election yesterday and today, and nowhere did they mention that the server had problems. It was not mentioned.
It's either you didn't listen to me, you didn't get my point, or you didn't listen to me very well. As a person, I am not the only person in the campaign organization. I'm the DG head of the campaign. So it's not only me that made contacts with the third parties or second parties. Or some of our officials who made contact with INEC. That was what they told. I don't have problems. There's no reason for me to believe so. I cannot be in all places at the same time. I mean, we saw, when I said we, what I'm not, it's not me. I don't constitute the campaign council. I'm the chief spokesperson, I'm the chief executive. The fact that I did not hear it directly from INEC, there's no cause for me to doubt whether one of the directors of external relations or legal director is telling me a lie. I don't have to personally hear it. I'm telling you the one that I personally discussed.
Okay.
And of course that since they are expected to be more objective, to be detached from the process than Nigerians, I expect that what they will say will be more, I would rate it above partisanship. That's why I gave that emphasis. So don't tell me, I recall that it was after I had an appearance on the Rice Television yesterday at about 10 p.m. That was the first time I had like results were being uploaded onto the INEC portal. So up till 10 p.m. yesterday, what was the situation? So I'm not telling you, there's nothing that I've told you that contradicts or accept the kind of contradiction or controversy you are trying to introduce. That is the situation. What was the case? I went on here at about 10 p.m. yesterday. There was nothing in INEC portal, nothing. And results have started coming out from 3 p.m. And I was not the only one making contact about the situation with the elections. I pointed out the one that lies specifically. Organizationally, we had contact with INEC, and that was what they were told. So I hope that clears the point sufficiently for you.
Mr. Oshutoku, it's very important for you to understand that our job is to ask questions, and that's what we're doing. We're asking you questions, and we expect that you give us answers on the basis of what you know to those questions. That's what we're doing. That's our job.
Now you're listening to Nigeria Info 99.3. You'll hear a bit more of those questions when we come back from this break. This is Mandate 2023 from Nigeria Info 99.3. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili.
We report, you decide. Topical conversations that matter to you.
There are people for personal, religious, whatever reasons who do not want to take a vaccine. And I think they have the rights.
They cannot go to install security. It's to force people to take vaccine. Let them come and kill me. I can never take it.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Hey, make una come on. My husband don't do me strong thing, no.
Yeah, Amaka.
What's happen? Now my husband buy me life for Valentine, no.
Yeah, Amaka. Where soup you give?
strong love promo. As you buy land, they can't give a 30% discount. Go ahead, microwave, give and join. Not the only microwave deal. Some they collect mattress, gas burner, love hamper, cake, even water dispenser. Now only people will enjoy 40% discount. No collect gift.
Yeah, Maka, microwave. Why you no collect mattress?
Yes, so you say fit show strong love to your loved one this season with Adron Home Strong Love promo. Enjoy 40% discount on 24 months payment plan or 30% discount on 36 months payment plan with Poco gift items. For more Tori, call these numbers
0805 921 0054 or 0803 466 7286.
This promo day from now till 6th of March 2023. Adron Home Strong Love promo. Terms and conditions dey.
Adron Homes, making the incredible affordable. Book a ride on Anaya to move around Lagos. From Lekki to Oshodi, from anywhere to everywhere. Try Anaya and you won't go back to your old ways of moving around Lagos. Hurry and download Anaya app today and get your first ride for free using the promo code First Ride. Anaya, ANAYER. The power to move.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We are back.
We're back on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. This is Nigeria Info's election coverage studio, the mandate 2023. And before the break, we were listening to the Director General of the P2B campaign, Oshutokun. And he was, I'm talking about Akin, he was talking about the conduct of the election so far, reacting to the process so far, has raised quite a few concerns. I want us to listen to the end of the interview, and then Lagos, I will take your thoughts on some of what he has raised during the interview with Channels TV.
So in that respect, that's why we're asking you the questions. We're not introducing anything. What we want to know is, at this point in time now, we're about to start witnessing the official collation of the results. What are your own expectations? You've already talked about the things that you are made to understand happened. What are your expectations now?
I don't know. Look, I was trained, in science, in social science, and of course the probability of actions. Look, you look at the pedigree. I have no sufficient enough indices, right, to believe that the right thing will be done. I want to be pleasantly surprised. I'm not saying that what is going to happen is going to be wrong. I can only be in hope, not in expectation, that INEC will do the right thing. And they have proven it at the stage of this, So for me, I don't speak in abstract. Right? In the context of this election in which we find ourselves, I have no expectation that INEC would. I can only hope. When I say I don't have any expectation that they will do the right thing, I'm not saying that they will not do so. I want to be pleasantly surprised that they will do so.
If your expectation is that INEC would do the needful, have you personally, being the leader of your campaign, as you said, the chief executive of the campaign and chief spokesperson, as you said, is it an issue you have personally raised with INEC officials, especially at least Mr. Festus Okoye, the spokesperson to the commission? Can you hear me, Mr.
I hear what you are saying. And
can you hear me now?
But you got me wrong.
Can you hear me now?
I said I hope. I don't have the expectation that they will do the right thing. It's not for me to. I don't need to tell them or interact with them. As a member of Nigerian public, the conduct of this INEC, without needing to be a member of a campaign council. I'm a member of, I'm an observer, I'm a Nigerian, an observer of what is going on in the Nigerian public. What I have seen in that capacity, I don't have to be the DG of a campaign to come to that conclusion. They have made promises, they have said things, that it didn't pan out. There have been behaviors that are suspicious, and I've highlighted those. So it is on the basis of those indices that I tell you that I hope the right thing will be done, but I don't expect, I'm not particularly expecting them to do so. And that's why I told you I want to be pleasantly surprised. I'm not going to rely on what they said. They don't give explanations, keep on, fragmentary and selective. From what the INEC chairman just said, it will seem as if the rule is to wait for a specific time, the following day or any time, before you start uploading the result. And that is clearly not the case. The case is as if those results come in polling booth by polling booth, they are supposed to upload them. And they didn't.
That's the Director General of Labour Party's presidential campaign. I've got on the show with me the Communications Officer for Yaga's Elections Project, Moshood Issa. Moshood, thank you so much for joining us on Monday 23.
Thank you very much for hosting me.
So you've been observing the elections since yesterday. What's your situation room saying? How would you assess the conduct of yesterday's and even today's election?
Well, I think it's no more news around the issues around late deployment is no more news.
Yes.
To Nigerians, but specifically, we know that only 27% of polling units have opened as at 7:30 in the morning. And just about 40% commenced accreditation as at 9:30 in the morning.
Right.
Of course, despite the fact that we had the whole year to plan for this election, because this election was announced in 2022, February 25th, that election would hold. We have a whole year to plan for this, and all through this period, the Commission had continued to boost citizens' confidence, telling us they are readily prepared for the elections. One major issue we've actually flagged is around late deployment of personnel and materials to polling units. And from feedback, what we've learned was that this is caused by challenges around logistics, the scarcity of naira. We spoke to some drivers in Kuji, and the feedback we got was that they would not move unless they were given cash. We wouldn't know the contract signed between them and the National Union of Road Transport Workers, and then the conversation between this union and the drivers. This was totally a situation that was outside control, or that actually went outside control. It was really messed up, and unfortunately, till 3 to 4 p.m., we got a lot of calls from our volunteers across the country where either they have not deployed or they deployed, and again we had challenges. We had a lot of reports around the functionality of the bimodal voter accreditation system, where in many locations, as we received reports, it actually malfunctioned. In some cases, it was fixed. In other cases, people had to wait till late night. In some cases, election had to continue today in states in locations like Benue, Bayelsa, Adamawa, and a couple of others as we received. So major issue, we go back to logistics challenges, which is quite unfortunate. And we think it's another missed opportunity for the Commission to actually redeem its image to Nigerians.
Now I want to talk to you about failures to upload or transmit results using BVAS. Voters and some parties are claiming that this was widespread in places like Lagos, Rivers. We've also noticed that IREV doesn't have a lot of results yet. Let me see what I currently have in front of me. Total submitted results. 22,644 out of 176,846. Does Yaga agree that this uploading results thing was a rampant problem in Lagos, Rivers, some other states. What do you think caused this, if Yaga agrees that this was a rampant problem in places like Lagos and Rivers?
Yeah, not just in Lagos and Rivers. I think it's a general thing, not just in those two states. I think as at 6:30 in the evening, we're yet to see results on that INEC results viewing portal. Of course, partly due to the fact that election did not commence on time. Again, but we got reports that even in locations where elections were concluded, the presiding officers, for some reasons, were refusing to upload results on the result viewing portal, or were claiming they needed a password or something before they could upload result on the viewing portal. Again, this is some level of compromise by the presiding officer or whoever is in charge, because the essence of the result viewing portal is to promote transparency, and the fact that if there is discrepancy between the manual results taken to the ward level and the results that had already been uploaded in the presence of everyone, the result on the portal should actually take precedence. We actually received a report around refusal or, for some reason, late upload of the result on the viewing portal. For election that was held 24 hours ago, and up to now, we still have 22,000 out of 176,000. I think that's just about 15% or thereabout is actually poor at this point in time, which is a major issue. And again, like I said, this is actually a missed opportunity to boost citizens' confidence, to encourage citizens' participation. I think the Commission had continued to tell Nigerians that they were actually ready to conduct the election, and all challenges were surmountable, or they've been able to surmount all their challenges. Unfortunately, these issues continue to come up.
Okay. I have to ask you one more question, and then I'll let you go. Voters are reporting that in many units, the INEC officials are claiming not to know the code or the password for the beavers. What's that code for that they're talking about? What's the process for getting the code to the INEC staff?
Yeah, from all the conversation we've had with INEC, from the introduction of the beavers itself, I think a year ago or so, I think the beavers was first used in the Federal Capital Territory Area Council poll, or it was first piloted in some by-election. From all conversation we've had with the Commission around the use of beavers, from all training attended, and from all conversation around the beavers, I have not heard of incident of, before you, maybe on the normal, before you log on or before you open the beavers, you probably need a code to start it up. I don't know. But then, you do not need a special code. Personally, I don't think you need a special code to be able to upload results, because this is the same beavers machine you've been using from morning up till the end of election, and now you just need to upload a result on the portal, and then we talked about code. The thing is, if this is a nationwide thing completely, then we would start saying, okay, fine. Maybe those concerned were not properly trained. But if some locations are able to upload results and other locations, suspicious locations, are not able to, then we should ask questions, either around them attempting to manipulate the process, or the fact that probably they are not being trained properly, or probably the people that were trained were replaced before election day. This could be a lot of factors that could actually be involved in this. But then the Commission in many occasions have come out to tell us this is how to operate the beavers. The beavers will scan your barcode of the PVC. It does this, it does this, it does that. At the end, you write the results in the presence of everyone. You snap the results in the presence of everyone, and then upload. Immediately after snapping that result, of course, there should be option to just upload on the result viewing portal. So the questions around that, it's sketchy and brings doubt in people's mind around transparency of the process. Nigerians should not be taken for granted when after people queue on the polling unit all day, and then it's time to just upload that result, because we understand that if there is discrepancy between results you upload on the portal and the one on paper that you take to the World Collation Center, the one you upload to the portal in the presence of everyone will take precedence. So if the presiding officers are refusing to upload that, then there is question. In some cases, you will see report that the presiding officer say he has to leave that location. He's going to somewhere else to go and upload it. And he has to go to another collation center to go and upload it. This is not the guideline of the commission. The commission says do everything in the presence of the one and the party agent.
That's right.
And that is the purpose. That's the purpose of transparency.
That's right.
So there's also a question around that, and there's this brings doubt in the minds of the citizens, and the issue around transparency is actually being defeated.
Moshood Issa is the communications officer on Yaga's elections project. Moshood, thank you so much for your time this afternoon.
Thank you very much.
All right. Lagos, I'm here. Sandra Ezekwesili, that's my name. Chief Andy Obuoforibo is with me in the studio. Chief, you just heard Moshood say he doesn't know of any special code needed to upload the results. He also pointed out that in some locations, INEC was able to upload without any code. He called the whole situation sketchy. How you see it?
I mean, I think sketchy is the only word that can be used to describe this, because in all of the briefings and everything that we have heard about beavers, we've never heard about this code before. We've seen beavers used in Edo, in Ekiti, in Osun. We never heard anything about this code. Again, like just to reiterate what Moshood said, in some parts of the country, in some polling units, the INEC officials uploaded the results without any code. So why is this code becoming now a stumbling block at this point? And why is it only happening in selective places, not all over? These are important questions that, one, Nigerians need to ask, and two, INEC needs to answer. And we are now approaching, like, it's now almost 3 o'clock. So it's 24 hours after polls were meant to close. And still, till now, we have not heard a direct answer from anybody in INEC, from national level, that is the chairman of the national commissioners, from state level, meaning the state recs, or even from LGA level, meaning the EOs. No single INEC executive has addressed this issue of upload failure and this issue of these phantom codes, and that, to me, is unacceptable.
Moshood also said that the drivers that INEC used for moving the materials said that they won't move unless they have cash. Now, Mahmoud Yakubu raised this cash issue, I think it was the week before last, but he later came out to say, and we talked about this briefly yesterday, he later came out to say that it's been resolved, that CBN has sorted this out for INEC. Why are we now hearing that cash was actually the problem?
Like you said, Sandra, he first came out and raised that it's a problem, and we all saw that, oh wow, this could actually be a problem, because he explained it very eloquently. He told us, look, these guys at that level, they don't want to hear transfer, they don't want to hear, oh, take a check, they want cold hard cash in their hand. And from all of us, our experience with these kind of things, we understood, right? So he raised that concern and he was wailing about it, and then he came out to say,
oh, we've sorted it.
Yes, so CBN has done this and that and that and that. Now, if he had not said that, if he had not come out later on to say it's been resolved, right? If he had, from that day, just kept on shouting that we need cash, we don't have cash, we can't transport these materials, Nigerians would have joined him
to shout.
We would have joined him to shout, because we're shouting at CBN about this policy for various reasons. We shouted at CBN because of POS agents. We shouted at them because of... So we will have
one more shout.
One more shout, at least. Then we will know going into this election, if CBN has not resolved this for them, we would know that, look, INEC has one hand tied behind their back. Mahmoud Yakubu has told us they need cash to pay the transporters and the cash is not there. Then at least we will know what was happening yesterday. But the moment Mahmoud Yakubu told us, no, actually, psych, it's solved, no problem, don't worry. And he never came back to say, okay, maybe I thought it was solved, they promised me, but now it turns out, no, you don't have the cash. By not doing that, not coming back to us to do that, he took responsibility. He said, I have been given everything I need to do this. I don't have any other excuse for not transporting the materials. So now, I don't personally, as a Nigerian now, I don't want to hear INEC telling me that, oh, we had logistics or transportation issues because we didn't have cash. Your chairman came and said, we now have the cash, our issue has been resolved. So that is now, INEC can't pass that buck. He owns it.
Lagos, join the conversation. 0700-993-993-993. That's for men. Women, call us on 014657190. Hello. Good afternoon. How are you doing, sir?
Good day, Sandra.
How are you?
How are you?
I'm very well. What's your name, sir?
My name is Daniel.
All right, Daniel. Welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah, Sandra, let me tell you honestly, I've lost hope in the whole process. With what is happening now, I've lost hope. Because ever before now, Professor Mahmoud has risen our hopes to high heavens, how prepared and ready they are. But you can see, even in my own polling booth, we had over 900 people that were supposed to vote. We managed to do 505 before they closed. To upload the result, they came with story, but we insisted. And finally, the young man uploaded it. Going forward with this reminds me of his antecedents in 2019. So it has shown that this man doesn't love this country. He has no feeling for what Nigerians are going through. Look at the way he addressed us this afternoon, that he will come back by 6 p.m. Who is he? Because they appointed him as INEC chairman, he can come and talk to us anyhow and go back to the comfort of his office and be doing only God knows what. God will judge every wicked man in this country. Thank you, Sandra, and God bless you.
Bless you as well. Thank you very much for calling. 99.3, hello. Sorry about that. Call us back if you can. Women, join the conversation. Call us on 014657190. Hello, how you doing?
Good afternoon, Sandra.
Good afternoon, sir. What's your name?
Lucky Lola from Magoro.
Welcome, Lucky.
I greet Chief with you then.
Lucky, I greet you.
Yeah, the thing is what are these people hiding? That's the question I want to ask, because earlier on there's the audio listen you play from this channel TV. We also saw the video going on. It was viral that some officials, refuse to transmit results. We saw it everywhere. And it baffles me as how and why INEC chairman didn't see and comment in all this. When he came up at 12 and 3, he didn't talk about all this. I mean, or is he just pretending not to even see all these things? I'm waiting for him at 6, to hear what he's going to say. But the truth there is that it's a big shame on INEC electronic commission system. They really form. If I want to score them in this election, I'll score them 4/10. Bye-bye.
Thanks for calling. 99.3. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for calling.
Hello.
What's your name, ma'am?
Sandra, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is Joy calling.
Welcome, Joy.
You know my pains in all these things.
What?
When you complain about all these things, some people will say, no election is perfect everywhere. But your own is the worst. You have not noticed it. That is the worst. Even the other places, there is no perfect one. How come you will continue to encourage these people to do all these things? So you don't want to even pay those people in time to carry those things to the various places, and you are now they are giving an excuse after all the money. It's too much now. Why are they treating us like this? And you just come and talk and go and stay. He's supposed to upload that result one after the other for what us to be seeing. Let us not be treating us like this. Thank you.
Thank you, Joy, for calling. 99.3. Hello.
Hello.
What's your name, sir?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name, sir?
My name is Leo.
Leo, you're calling our number for women, so I'm going to have to end the call with you. 99.3, hello.
Yeah, hello.
How you doing? What's your name, sir?
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, my name is Dayo.
Hi, Dayo.
Calling from somewhere around Barawa.
Welcome.
Okay, hello, Chief. Well done.
Well done.
Now, yes, you know, this is something that baffles me. I'll tell you what it is.
Why?
Why do we expect an agency in Nigeria to work magic? Why do we do that? You know, it is us. You know, I was telling a couple of friends, I said, look, we need to sit down and have a conversation. It hurts me. I'm a logistics solutions person.
Okay.
And it hurts me how some of the pedestrian problems that we're having, how you already see impending obstacle. We know this was going to be a problem. And so why are we complaining now? We already know. Didn't we know? Was it not a problem 4 years ago? Sandra, we had this conversation 4 years ago now.
Yes.
So why are we surprised? What did we do that was different? Did INEC not sign an agreement with NURTW at the national level? Why did they expect that everything was going to be efficient? Did we suggest that we need to go back to the town planning guys? All the states now have VIS, what's the name now? The survey thing that is electronic. Did we suggest to them that INEC sit down with these guys, get consultants from Google? You guys sit down. There's a mapping that you can do now via satellite. Because the problem of the logistics is with, first of all, is with the town planning. So those problems, these things are precepts. Once one is wobble, so we shouldn't be surprised. It's a surprise that is surprising me. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, and it hurts me because it's not supposed to be this complex. Again, I suggested to one of the guys in the INEC team there. I said, look, how much are you spending? Are you going to pay these guys for logistics? 2 years ago, talk to the guys who are dealers. These guys have been shipping in cars in here for youngs. Talk to them. Get a tax rebate for these guys because we still have the sensors coming. The amount of cars you are going to use, you can also use them for sensors. Get purpose-built cars that are fuel efficient and that can also use solar as part of it. So those vehicles can be designed for something else afterwards. We save money. It's a win-win situation for everybody. They said, okay. Do you know the reason why it's not going to people? There are people who are profiteering from this. There are simple solutions you can work with. How can you tell me, Sandra, please? How can you tell me you have a problem uploading results? John, now? How now? A phone, a basic 2G phone can upload whatever it is that you want to do. This is unacceptable. And then they knew on the final note, there's this bit. We also said, I told the guys that I said, look, guys, there's going to be a problem with the server. It's not rocket science. He said, why do I say that? Are the banks not having problems? Why are they having problems all of a sudden? It's simple. You have a deluge. Any system will collapse. So what could they have done? Joe, they could have just decentralized that system. Instead of having one portal, have the same location, but multiple portals. You understand? Then you now have a mirror with the central one. Those guys in tech can fix this now. It shouldn't be this hard. Yeah. In conclusion, please, this one is already done. I want to please appeal to us because already temperature is already rising. We appeal. Please, we have a country afterwards. That scares me. You don't understand? So before it gets too high, we pray that please, before the next one, because there's no point crying about this now, before the next one, let's start to work now. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling, Daya. All right, Lagos. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. You're listening to Hard... well, no, this is not Hard Facts. Hard Facts is tomorrow from 3 p.m. However, this is the Mandate 2023. We're bringing you election coverage. We started yesterday. We're here today. And I'm with you until 4. Maybe we'll do a bit longer. We'll see how we're feeling. If you just tuned in, I've spoken to the communications officer for Yaga's elections project. And before that, we listened to an interview with the Director General of Labour Party's presidential campaign. I'm also seeing that Atiku has asked INEC, has asked Yakubu to order for uploads of election results. That's, of course, because... well, I don't know if it's because, but we heard the Director General of the Labour Party say that the other major parties, were not joining Labour to criticize these lapses by INEC. So he called them out, and while I was speaking with Dyer, I noticed on the screen that Atiku has now asked INEC to do sharp order the uploads of those results. Now, Chief, you also heard the interviewer say to Oshutokun that the APC has said that they're waiting until results are announced. What do you say to that?
Okay, so let me use a parable here. I'm living in Port Harcourt and I want to come and visit you in Lagos here to be on Hard Facts, right?
Right.
Now, I enter a bus, right? Now, I know that the route from Port Harcourt to Lagos, I know I will go west from Port Harcourt. I will reach, I will go to Yenagoa. From Yenagoa, I will reach, Kayama. From Kayama, I will get into Delta State. I will reach, Ugeli. I will pass Ugeli. I will go to, Patani, Sapele, then Benin. After Benin, Warri. After Warri first, then Benin. Then I know from there I'm coming into the west. I'll get to Ore, then I'll come to Lagos, right?
Okay.
Now we enter the bus, we start going. I notice from Port Harcourt, I've entered Ogoniland. I've reached Kana.
Okay.
From Kana, I now notice I've crossed into Akwa Ibom. Before you know it, I'm in Uyo. At that point, will I not say, driver, I think we're going east instead of west. We're heading in the wrong direction. Or will I say, well, let me be calm and wait till we get there, wait till the end. Then when the driver now reaches Calabar and say, we don't reach you, I'll now start shouting, hey, driver, why? Why am I in Calabar? That's what the APC is saying Nigerians should do. We know there is a journey from voting to result. The journey is, after voting, at the polling unit, results are uploaded. Why? So that later on, when results are being collated, we can cross-check the collated results with the result that was uploaded at the polling unit with everybody as a witness. If there is a discrepancy, we know that INEC has colluded with parties to change the result. That's why we do this. Now, that first step was skipped. So instead of seeing Yenagoa, I saw Ogoniland. I saw Kana. And you're telling me that I should just be quiet and wait and see whether after Kana we reach Uyo or whether after Kana we are back in Yenagoa.
Is it not too soon to shout, though? Is it not too soon to start questioning?
No, Sandra, no. That's the point I'm just making. It's like you were not hearing me, Sandra. Sandra, there is a process. This is project management.
Right.
There are timelines and milestones. You know that so you look at it this way. INEC has a picture in their head of what a perfect election looks like.
That's right.
And they've communicated that picture to all of us.
Right.
That picture says that voting starts 8:30. Voting closes 2:30. From 2:30, they count results at the polling unit. After counting results, they upload results at the polling unit using beavers. So we know that even if they're counting results for 2 hours, right? Let's just assume, because that's a long time. But let's say it takes them 2 hours to count results. At least by 4:30, results should be uploaded and hitting the INEC server. Some places close late. So let's say they close by 8 p.m. Then that means that by 8 p.m., results should be hitting the server. By 10 p.m., results should be hitting the server. Now, no result hits the server. 4:30, no results. 5:30, no results. 6:30, no results. 10:30, no results. If INEC is interested in running this perfect election that they described to us, those are the milestones that should signal that something is going wrong. You don't, when you see something start to go wrong early in the journey, you don't say, well, let's wait to see how it ends. You say we need to start, one, rectifying what's going. No, first of all, one, investigate what's going wrong. Two, communicate to the public that we have seen that something is going wrong. And then three, take active steps to rectify it. And four, open up to the public and show the public the active steps you are taking at that point. INEC failed to do any of those things. Till now, no public statement, I repeat, from the chairman, from national commissioners, from state recs, or from LGAEOs. No single on the record statement acknowledging that the procedure failed to be followed at multiple places, that there were no uploads in the couple of hours after polls closed. There were no uploads, and that this is the reason why. It's network, or it is the server that failed, or it was human error, or it was miscommunication, or it was malice. No acknowledgement, no explanation, and no attempt to tell us what they are doing in terms of remediation. And then somebody tells me, a political party who is meant to be interested in the outcome of the election and making sure it's free and fair, are telling me that I should wait.
Okay. Now, it's interesting. One of the things that Oshintokun kept saying was these results should have been coming into the INEC server one by one since yesterday afternoon, as results are uploaded from the units. He says, correctly, might I add, that the system was never intended for sending all the results at once the next day. Now, since that's the case, do you agree with those who say that there is reason at the moment to suspect some level of compromise? Because we heard Moshood call yesterday's failure to upload results some level of compromise. We heard, well, I don't know if you heard, but I was watching Ma Odi. Ma Odi is a co-convener for Situation Room, and she was calling the process yesterday Yahoo INEC, Yahoo election. Do you agree with people who say that there's some level of compromise at play here right now, or is that too soon to call?
The moment that the actual election yesterday deviated significantly from the laid down process, INEC had a duty to acknowledge that publicly, take remedial steps, inform us of the remedial steps, and open us up to show us transparency. They did that with the late arrival of election materials, for example, right? Election materials were arriving late. Mahmoud Yakubu came on air and told us, oh yes, we know some places election materials are arriving late. They were shooting gun here, or we don't know what, but please don't worry. Rest assured, we are going to change the process to accommodate this failure on our part, which means that instead of closing the polls when we wanted to close the polls, anybody in the queue by 2:30 will vote no matter how late.
That also wasn't followed, by the way.
But yeah, it wasn't followed everywhere. But you notice, there was an acknowledgement of the issue, a remedial step taken, the communication of that remedial step, right? And the transparency in the process. That was with the late arrival of materials. That was problem number one of the day. Problem number two of the day was the failure to upload. So Sandra, I ask you, did Mahmoud Yakubu come on air to acknowledge? Did he come on air or send anybody to tell us what the reasons were, like they told us about the late arrival? Did they come on air to tell us what remedial steps they were taking? And this is something that is crucial and critical to the transparency, the credibility of the election. Because Sandra, this is not just late arrival of materials, so we just delays the result. Let me make this clear. Let me say this very clearly, Lagos. This is not just some fulfill all righteousness thing. The upload of election results from the polling unit
is the law.
It's not just that it's the law, Sandra. It is critical for ensuring that election cannot be rigged. Because what happens is, two of us are enemies, two of us are opponents.
Right.
We are there at the polling unit, right?
Right.
Result is counted. The votes are counted, result is written. Two of us are there plus all the voters who voted.
Right.
They have a vested interest in protecting their votes.
Right.
And they are now saying, snap this result in our presence and send it to INEC in our presence. And we want to see the green light and the check mark showing that the INEC has received our result.
Right.
They will look on the server and see that, yes, the result has been received.
Right.
What does that do? It gives us the confidence that tomorrow during collation, that's today, Sunday, during collation, right, when INEC brings up the server and looks at the results that are there to use them to collate, that those results are the results that were written in the presence of everybody as witness, and everybody was okay with it. But when you don't upload from the polling unit and you take the beavers physically and go somewhere else, that gives an opportunity in private to change what is there. Write another result on another result sheet, take a picture of that one and send that one to the server. And so INEC designed this process that thing must be done at the polling unit where everybody is there. Now suddenly there is a technical reason, let's even pretend or assume that it was a technical legitimate reason why in so many places that couldn't be done. That means that the one fail-safe INEC put in place to safeguard transparency and to make it impossible to change results just failed. If Mahmoud Yakubu is interested in a free and fair election, then he shouldn't eat before coming to talk to us about it. He shouldn't go to the restroom before coming to talk to us about it, because this failure makes it possible for anyone in a collation center to change every result in Nigeria. And so once such a thing has happened, the man responsible for making sure that Nigerians get the result they voted for has to come out and acknowledge it and say, we have failed, though. Something went terribly wrong with the one thing that is protecting your vote. This is what went wrong with it. This is the process we want to now put in place to correct this problem. If you don't do that, it means you are okay with the result being compromisable.
Do you agree with Oshutoku that the international community is being too silent about what's happening in INEC? Or do you believe that we shouldn't be looking at the international community to solve any problems that we may have?
Well, it's both, Sandra. One, yes, they are being very quiet and very complicit in all of this. Fine. They always have their reasons for doing whatever they want to do. I have never been a big person in waiting for the international community to say anything. Look, Nigerians, this is your vote. Okay, this is your vote.
But what can Nigerians
Collation
do?
centers are not in Ghana. Collation centers are not in the United States. Collation centers are not on Mars. They are in your local government. They are there. We know those buildings. If Nigerians want to protect their votes, they should go to the collation centers and protect their votes.
Lagos, join us 0700-993-993 01465-7190. That's for women. Women 01465-7190. Men call us on 0700-993-993. We're streaming live on Facebook. Facebook is Nigeria Info 99.3. We've got WhatsApp. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. Remember the ground rules for the show. I don't want to hear the results of your polling unit. I don't want to hear the results where you were at, where you voted. I don't want to hear who won, who did not win. I just want to talk about what we're talking about in here today. Your thoughts on the process so far. Your thoughts on your experience when you tried to vote yesterday or today, because I understand that elections are ongoing in some parts of Nigeria. Bayelsa, for instance, Delta is another place, right here in Lagos as well. Have you tried to vote today? What has your experience been? Hello, good evening. Well, good afternoon.
Hello, good evening.
How you doing, ma'am? What's your name?
I'm good. My name is Rebecca.
Welcome, Rebecca.
Yes. I just want to correct what your guest said.
Okay.
He said voting closed at 2:30.
No, officially.
Vote start counting. It is not correct. Please, what INEC said is the queue closes at 2:30. Once you are on the queue before 2:30, you can vote till when the last person on the.
Yes, you misunderstood my guess. So officially, votes are supposed to close 2:30. However, if you're in the line by 2:30, you must vote, whether the vote goes on until 3 a.m.
And then you should not insist that voting closes at 2:30. He should have added that portion.
He did. He did. Maybe you didn't catch it, but he did.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I just needed to clarify that aspect of.
Thank you for the clarification.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you for calling, Rebecca. 99.3. Hello. Hello.
Good afternoon, Sandra.
Good afternoon. What's your name, ma'am?
Yeah. This is Rita calling from Baduru. Chief, good afternoon. Sandra, in fact, right now I'm totally disappointed. Chief, I explained everything to us. And see, right from the first place that the news got up that the result is not being processed, Sandra, I know it. Even if they put on this result, Sandra, as far as a candidate to, win, I will believe this thing is being worked out. So it's not, I don't know, I'm not giving us the insurance. Even up to now, Sandra, he said, I listened to the broadcast. He said by 6. When they come back by 6 now, they will talk. Maybe probably by 10, you will go for break. Maybe till tomorrow again.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine, the result that we're supposed to have in a day. So you mean young Nigerians that were there working at this page that will be able to see the results, so that will believe in ourselves that what we've done is actually okay. We'll not be waiting for days. So what are those results doing in the collection centers? What are they doing? Chief, you said we should protect it. If we want to protect our result, we should go to the our center, local government center, to check for them. If you go there, what about the security? Are we safe? Are the security there for us?
All right. Thank you very much for calling. Let me take a look at messages we have on WhatsApp. Sandra, I would like to agree with the DG Labour PCC on the likely post-election problems. INEC is about to prove him right, as at 11 p.m. on July 16, 2022, same day, over 70% of results of Oshun were already on INEC IREV. INEC indeed prepared for this election, but are about to throw it down the drain. Right now, the credibility of this election is in doubt, and I hope that they don't prove us right. Jake from Surulere with that message. This one here says, Sandra, stop talking about international community. Those people do not have any power over Nigeria's elections. We're talking about people who are behind Nigeria's problems. Okay, thank you. Gabriel says INEC should know that we all own Nigeria, not those in political offices. If they should in any way manipulate what we Nigerians have voted, they are against our democracy, which I'm sure will not end well. Okay, again, however, we don't have overview all over the country, so we don't know how people voted all over the country. We only know how maybe our polling unit voted here in Lagos, and then maybe a few things that we're seeing on social media. But that's also why we say that you shouldn't pay attention to what you see on social media. But that's also why INEC said, all of us can view the results by ourselves on INEC's server via IREV. It's unfortunate that the results are not being uploaded, so which means that we have to wait. However, at this moment, 41,087 out of 176,846 results have been uploaded. So,
but the question with that, Sandra, is this: how many of those results were uploaded within 3 hours or 4 hours of the queue being closed for voting? I'm saying that to be very careful because of our previous caller. Queues closed at 2:30. Voting continued until everybody at the end of the queue was done. So let's say that by 4:30 max, voting should have been done at a polling unit, and then we can now count and results be uploaded, right? If the result was not uploaded at 4:30 yesterday or 5 o'clock yesterday for a polling unit that finished on time, result was not uploaded by 5 o'clock, 5 p.m. yesterday. By 5 a.m. today, right, the result was not uploaded. So that's 12 hours of the result not being uploaded. Then maybe by noon today, right, the result was finally uploaded. So that's 19 hours after it was supposed to be uploaded, it was uploaded. And it's not being uploaded from the polling unit. It's being uploaded either from the collation center or a hotel somewhere, right?
Okay.
Do you realize the number of things that could have gone wrong with that result? Do we realize that somebody could have sat down somewhere, like I said, taking a result sheet, a blank EC8A form, polling unit result sheet, written whatever result they wanted to write, stamped it, and took a picture of it with the beavers and say, yes, we have finally uploaded the result from this from this polling unit? The entire reason why it should be done in real time is to prevent exactly what I just described. And what I described, I didn't just pluck it out of nowhere. That is how elections have been rigged in Nigeria since at least 2003. What normally happened before beavers is that, and that is why, you talk about thumb printing. Politicians will come, seize the materials, thumb print ballot papers, go and write another result sheet, a polling unit result sheet, a different one, and go and submit that one and say, yes, this is what came from the polling unit. So the entire reason why beavers should have been used in real time at the polling unit, not 12 to 19 hours later, the next day after overnight, is to prevent people going somewhere, cooking the result, writing it out neatly in a result sheet, snapping it and sending it. So now, if you're telling me now that you have these thousands of results uploaded onto the platform, right, onto the portal, but they were not uploaded yesterday, I don't regard them. They have lost their, what they call it, credibility, those results. The only way now that those results can be credible is if the people who were at the polling unit come out to corroborate them and say, yes, this is the result I saw at my polling unit. That's the only way. Which is what, by the way, for example, one of the parties, the Labour Party, is now saying. The Labour Party is asking Nigerians who happened to snap their polling unit results to start uploading them, putting them on the internet, on the Twitter. So, and then the Labour Party says that they are crowdsourcing that, using that, adding that to what the results they have in their situation room.
So as a way to compare?
To compare and then go and challenge INEC polling unit by polling unit to say, your result that you uploaded 24 hours after the election, instead of instantly, is now claiming that party A got 10, party B got 5. But what we have in our results that people snapped at the time is that party A got 50. Party A got 0, party B got 15. Why is there a difference? And I guess the idea is that if there is a critical mass of this, then it calls into question, and then INEC has to sit down and look at it. But again, that's why I'm asking myself, why is only one party spearheading this? At the end of the day, every party coming to ask our votes should respect our votes. And if they see that somebody, I don't want to blame anybody, but if they see that somebody has engineered things such that our votes are not counting properly, or that there is a chance our votes are compromised, then all the parties, any party that means well for Nigeria, should be standing up to join our voices and say, no, this can't work. No, we shouldn't allow this.
Well, we have Atiku Abubakar who has said, INEC, order your people to upload the results. We have APC who has said, be calm. It's not time to be shouting yet. Let's be calm. Let's wait for the official results. And then you also have those who say that maybe it's too soon to raise alarm. But away from all of that, I want to talk to you about, what's happening in the different states, right? So you have a lot of smoke for Mahmood Yakubu at the top. However, Mahmood Yakubu has been saying over and over how ready they were, has been giving us numbers. All the talking about how ready they were was probably why we saw the amount of turnout that we saw for yesterday's elections, today's elections as well, all over the country, right? Is it his fault that INEC officials at the grassroots, INEC officials at the states are allegedly working to change results? Are there things that INEC at the top should be doing to help voters checkmate INEC officials at the grassroots, INEC officials at the state level, who are allegedly working to change these results sometimes, that INEC at the top at the moment isn't doing? because they've given us information, right? They've told us how the process is supposed to work. They've told us about beavers. They've told us, upload is going to happen as at when due. They've told us, they've given us incident phone numbers to call. They've given us police and army numbers to call. Is there anything else they should be doing that they haven't done?
Let me answer your first question. Is it Mahmoud Yakubu's fault that the people his staff at the grassroots levels are misbehaving? Yes, it's his fault, because 1, he hired them. 2, he kept them employed. He's paying them.
Some of them are ad hoc.
Yes. Who hired the ad hoc staff? INEC. Who is the head of INEC? Mahmoud Yakubu. Who approved the hiring processes? Mahmoud Yakubu. Who is in charge at the very top of INEC disciplinary infrastructure that is supposed to be the stick that keeps every INEC employee and ad hoc staff in line? Mahmoud Yakubu. Who is the big gun? Mahmoud Yakubu. Where does the buck stop? Mahmoud Yakubu. Who told us INEC was ready? Mahmoud Yakubu. Who never once got in front of us and said, I think we're ready, but my staff are criminals? Mahmoud Yakubu. Since at no point did Mahmoud Yakubu tell us that he has a problem inside INEC, whether it's with his staff, whether it's with his tech, whether it's with his logistics, he never once stood in front of us and said, I have this problem, help me. Then Mahmoud Yakubu is the one that I blame. Now it is up to him to clean his house and fix the problem. Sandra, I'm a chief of a working house. The way it works is this: in those days, in the olden days, the people report to the chief rules over the people, and then the king rules over the chiefs. When there's a tax to be paid, the king doesn't tax the people, the king taxes the chief. The chief absorbs the taxes of the people under him. The whatever responsibilities are put for the people, the chief is the one responsible for coordinating. So I have no patience for saying, well, is Mahmoud Yakubu at fault, or does this thing go lower? Now that's 1. Now 2, what else should they be doing right now? First of all, they should be acknowledging that there is a problem, which he has not done. Second of all, since yesterday, we've seen so many INEC staff being accused of different things. Has Mahmoud Yakubu acknowledged that one single INEC staff has been caught red-handed doing anything? Has he said, okay, disciplinary process is now in place for these people? INEC staff, for whatever reason, suddenly could not work the beavers machines. Has Mahmoud Yakubu come out to say, it looks like my staff, their brain is touching and they've forgotten how we trained them? He has not said anything. He has not punished anyone. He has not disciplined anyone. He has not taken responsibility for anything. He has not even acknowledged that his staff anywhere in the country have done anything wrong with this electronic transmission. If these things were in place, Nigerians would be more patient. At this point, apart from the discipline of the staff, INEC needed to have shown us, because the truth of the matter is this is not the first election. Ad hoc staff have been misbehaving in every election, right? So when you're planning everything you're planning, you should also, as INEC and as the chairman of INEC, you should also be planning for the ad hoc staff. You should know that, okay, you know what, there is always a chance that a politician will buy my ad hoc staff. Or there's always a chance that my ad hoc staff likes one candidate and will take matters into her hands to help her candidate. What should I put in place as a measure to help the people protect their vote from my staff? Is it hotlines, and then what's the response to those hotlines? Is it a portal for them, the people, to independently upload their own results? Then what is the like? There has to have been a something put in place to help Nigerians checkmate bad INEC staff where they happen to be. But none of that was put in place, meaning INEC is saying, don't worry about that, we will handle our staff. We handle them now.
We've got messages on WhatsApp. Let me take a look at a few of them before we take this break. Anonymous says, I tried not to listen to your station yesterday so that I won't be hurt too much. I know very well, being a listener on a daily basis, that truth will be said in your station. Calls that are really life experience will happen, most especially from Lagos. The drama of beavers yesterday was the height of the new level of rigging. design to rob Nigerians of their original voice, since they knew that they had failed and will be voted out. I'm an observer and accredited. I'm an observer and an accredited observer. The uploading of results almost caused riot in my area yesterday. Police scared everyone away at the end. If I don't know of any other places, I know my own area. It is very clear that the result we tampered with. The delay was intentional, and that was why INEC chairman couldn't relate to Nigerians. What excuse will he give? We all know that there was internet yesterday. Me, I've lost hope. This was not credible. Anonymous. Thank you for your message. We'll take a break. When we come back from this break, we'll take a few calls. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. This is Mandate 2023, brought to you by Nigeria Info 99.3. Don't go away.
For talk, let's talk.
The race is on, and Nigerians will decide. People's voice and verdict.
They are not going to the ward. Nobody is collecting from any ward. I have been in a polling unit where the INEC officials, the party agents, and the voters are all complicit.
Citizens and their mandate.
People don't really know. Nigerians don't really know what governance is. They have described the process. It's really very seamless. I would want to believe that everyone will take advantage of this opportunity.
Nigeria Info Election Day Studios presents The Mandate 23. Minute-by-minute election day coverage, 36 states and the FCT. Sheriff Quadri, Jimmy Disu, Ireti Bakare, Marian Okon, Joyce Oyemua, Sandra Ezekwesili, and Ufoma Egbamno with data analysis in real time. Date, Saturday, February 25th and Sunday, February 26th. Join the conversation live from 5 a.m. The Mandate 23. It's a marathon.
Sincerely, I don't want to wait till I graduate from this school before I think of what to do with my life.
I am going to seriously work on my music skills. Let me use my talent well, I beg.
I would like to be a radio presenter, but I don't know how to go about it.
But why is Timmy so quiet today?
Sorry, ladies. I'm taking this interesting course on how to become a professional scriptwriter. You too can also learn how to become a radio presenter on Wazobia Academy.
Wazobia Academy?
Yes! Wazobia Academy provides accessible and affordable online training in filmmaking, music business, fashion, radio hosting, and lots more. You also stand a chance to be selected for internship in leading production companies, radio stations, music, and fashion studios for hands-on experience. It's easy. Simply log on to www.wazobiaacademy.com or call 0908-826-5038 for more details.
Wazobia Academy. Learn and lead.
Who is the greatest I beg to differ debater? We've had 4 tournaments and crowned 4 champions.
My name is Samrita Kaushik. My name is Ruth Okorocha. My name is Dawadi Esther. My name is Phoebe Achibdu.
We've had 4 runners-up who gave them a run for the 1 million naira.
My name is Nadi Emanuela Amarachi. I'm Deborah Pamzad.
My name is Hamid Olarojan.
My name is Stephanie Ame.
We've had other great debaters who wowed Lagos.
My name is Obuna Uchagozi.
I'm Oladbo Ramadan Alai.
I am Musa Nicola. My name is Oladi Tolwala Sheikh.
So to crown the best of the best,
well, I believe the group of us should be Group A.
You think so?
Yeah, the Group A.
And answer all your who would beat who questions.
Nah, this is Group A. People there, they're already on the hot seat.
We're bringing them all back. One winner, 2 million naira. It's the I Beg to Differ Tournament of Champions. From Monday, March 6th to Monday, April 10th, the 12 best secondary school debaters from all 4 editions will battle for all the bragging rights. Airing weekdays at 4, join me, Sandra Ezekwesili, your moderator on 99.3 Nigeria Info FM, and later on Wazobia Max TV. This tournament is brought to you by Paystack, supported by Wazobia Max TV, RLG Communications, and obiwizi.com. For sponsorship opportunities, send an email to I Beg to Differ at Nigeria Info.
This is the Mandate 23. The Mandate 23. Live.
I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. This is Nigeria Info 99.3 Lagos. Let's talk. Women call us on 014657190. Men call us on 0700-993-993. Ground rules. I don't want to hear about the results. I don't want to hear how your polling unit voted. I don't want to hear all of that. I simply want you to talk about what we're talking about in the studio at the moment, or you can share your experience as someone who tried to vote yesterday. You can also share your thoughts on the entire process so far. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, Sandra.
How are you doing, sir?
My name is Nelson.
Welcome, Nelson.
I actually voted at the Jota.
Okay.
It was peaceful.
Okay.
From top to bottom.
Great.
We counted everything out. I was there all throughout.
Okay.
I didn't step out. Nobody stepped out. Those that are actually in support of one candidate or the other. There was no problem until it got to the point of having to upload the results.
Okay. Okay.
We waited for as long as we could. It didn't go through. Are you getting me, Sandra?
I'm here.
And that was when I got to understand that Beavers is also a flop. In actual fact, Beavers does not actually authenticate who an individual has voted for.
Okay.
It only captured the total number of voters that were accredited to vote at the particular time.
Yeah, it's not supposed to capture who someone voted for.
That means it is still the same way. Then how are we going to know who voted for who at the end of the day? By the time they take this stuff to their head office, I believe something terrible is going to happen there. No wonder some people are bragging, no matter what we do, the election result will never reflect what we actually voted. That apart, we are not going to say anything beyond this. That is where election rigging actually takes place. I wonder why that thing failed at the time it's supposed to work. Are you with me, Sandra?
I'm with you, yes, sir.
Like your guest is actually saying, it should work. I wonder why it didn't work. I was the one that dropped one of the party agents at the coalition center.
Okay.
With my car. I had to do that because at my own word, I know who won. We're not going to say anything for whoever that won, but at the coalition center, that is where that stuff is going to change. Thank you very much. I'll keep doing the good work, Sandra. I appreciate what is going on.
Nelson, thank you very much for calling. We appreciate it. 99.3, hello.
Hello, Sandra. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you? What's your name, sir? Hello? Oh, that's unfortunate. 99.3.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Yeah, fine. Madam Sandra, good evening, ma.
Good evening, sir. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Ogapat.
Welcome, Ogapat.
Yeah, as make a CPG initiative.
And no wahala, I deal with you.
Yeah, I voted at Aboju Grammar School.
Okay.
It was not conducted peacefully.
Okay.
That means before the INEC started discharging INEC officers to various stations, it was around 12. So we started their voting around 12.
Okay.
That particular unit 040503.
Okay.
That Amuwo Grammar School.
Okay.
After voting, vote was counted, noted down. But the problem was that they uploaded it to the paper. T78, everywhere was that, nothing. We insisted that all proof abortive. I don't know what our fate.
Well, your fate is the same as most Nigerians who have this same problem at the moment. INEC isn't saying anything about that as yet. However, I think I am seeing Festus Okoye on Channel CV at the moment. I'm not certain, so I'm going to wait for confirmation. And if it is him, I will go to Abuja. He's currently at the National Coalition Center. So I'll go there and we'll hear what he has to say. I'm trying to get confirmation that the gentleman who's speaking at the moment is who I think it is. My glasses is doing me one kind, so I'm not very sure. Okay, yes, I have confirmation. It is Festus Okoye. So let's go to Abuja and hear what Channels is asking and his answers to those questions.
Then it goes to the state collation officer who will complete the results into from ECAD. And then that particular result that has been completed into from ECAD will now be brought to the National Collation Center here, where both the scope, that is the state collation officer for presidential election, and the resident electoral commissioner for the state, we present that particular result to the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, who is constitutionally mandated to receive the reports because he is the Chief Electoral Commissioner of the Federation and the returning officer for presidential election. So we are hopeful and we are confident that by 6 p.m. at least we will have one of the states of the Federation that has completed collation at the state level, and then the moment they come, we will the National Collation Center has been declared open, has been activated by the chairman. So at that particular time, we may likely receive the first report of the first results from a particular state. And then thereafter, we will know the number of states we have. But the collation has, the moment we get to 6 p.m., collation has started, and we can only be having breaks in between to allow the states to come in with their own results.
But this is a very tedious process, and I know that the anxiety is mounting, by the minute, by the hour. So, but again, voting is taking place in several other areas.
Yes.
How long do we really have to wait, and what are you getting, from the field at the moment?
Well, voting is taking place in only a few states of the Federation and in a few local governments. Most of the states completed the process, and as at around 11 in the morning, most of the states we are completing at the level of this local government collation, and we are heading to the state collation. So we are confident that we are going to have the bulk of the states tomorrow, and that we are as anxious as Nigerians to complete this particular process and complete it speedily. So we are confident that this process will come to a conclusive end very soon.
You mentioned that Ekiti might be one of the states who would turn in the spreadsheets, more quickly by today, about end of today or early hours of tomorrow.
Well, the chairman said at 6 p.m. we are going to return here, that there's a possibility that we will have at least one of the states of the Federation. I don't know whether Ekiti State is one of the states that are ready, but I know that Ekiti State is almost, consistently, they have been one of the first states to return their results. So I'm sure that they won't allow anybody to beat their record. So there's a possibility that at 6 p.m. we may have Ekiti State, but I don't have any confirmation on that.
Well, we hope to get more information from you. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Now, of course, he's still speaking, and we will come back to Festus Okoye in a bit. But it does seem to me like INEC is unsure what is written in the Electoral Act that they put forward to be signed by the National Assembly and assented to by the President, because they're conducting this in the way that 2019 was conducted, and I expected remarkable differences in this part of the election process. I wasn't expecting this, at this stage of the election process. Or am I seeing it wrong? Perhaps I'm seeing it wrong, Chief?
You know you're not seeing it wrong, Sandra. Why you saying it like that?
Maybe now.
No, Sandra. Did you see this? I'm going to ask you a question now because I'm not letting you get away with this. Did you see it done this way in Osun?
No.
Did you see it done this way in Ekiti?
Those were state elections.
No, hold on. No, did you see it done? State elections are not, at this point, state elections and federal elections are not different. What I mean by that is they take place at polling units. Both a state election and a federal election takes place at a polling unit. From a polling unit, it moves to the World Collation Center. From the World Collation Center, it moves to the LGA Collation Center. So that process, which is where we're at right now, is identical. So we didn't see this in Osun. We didn't see this in Ekiti. We didn't see it in Edo, a place where we use electronic transmission and we use BVAS. So why are we seeing it here now? It is clear that INEC is deviating from what they have already done in the last 1 year. Okay. And the question now is why? If this was just a failure of technology, let me take everybody's mind back to 2015 when INEC first launched the card reader, right? Now, the day that they did the presidential election, the card reader was failing in many places. Even famously, if it failed to read the president. Yes, then President Goodluck Jonathan, right? Atahiru Jega, then INEC chairman, came out and addressed the concerns and said, look, card reader is failing in some places we're using incident form, etc., etc. Right? Some people liked what he said, some people didn't like what he said. Presidential election came and went, Jonathan lost, Buhari won. By the governorship election, Atahiru Jega and INEC had issued new guidelines and made it clear that, look, we don't want to use incident forms anymore. The card reader is the card reader. So if the card reader fails in a polling unit, don't use incident forms.
Okay, hold that thought. Let me go back to Festus Okoye now, speaking at the moment with Channel CV Lagos. Let's take a listen.
At the level of the INEC Result viewing portal, the scores of the candidates emanating from the polling units are already in our INEC Result viewing portal. But if you look at the trajectory of the electoral process, you will see that they move differently. There are some federal constituencies that are one local government. So when they get to the local government, there will be a declaration and a return for that particular federal constituency. And then for the senatorial, it moves to the senatorial district collations center, where the senatorial district collation officer and returning officer will make a declaration. But for the presidential election, it moves from the polling unit to the registration area center, where it will be collated. From the registration area center, it moves to the local governments, where it will be collated. And then from the local governments, it moves to the state collation center, where it will be collated, before it is now brought to the National Collation Center, where the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission will do the final collation, make the final declaration, and also make the return.
So the thing about that is this, because when you go to the portal, all of these explanations you put out, no one will have the faintest idea that is what is going on. But perhaps I should ask this. So at what point are we likely going to see any result whatsoever for the presidential elections on the portal?
No. In the portal, they're already there. What we are obligated by Section 50, Section 60, and Section 64 of the Electoral Act 2022 to upload into our INEC Result viewing portal is from EC8A, which is the registration area collation result, which the registration area collation officer will also see and use in collating the registration area collation result into from EC8B. From that particular moment, the issue of electronically transmitted result ends. We now use Excel to begin the collation at the registration area, at the local government, at the state level, before it comes to the National Collation Center. What comes to the National Collation Center, we come to the National Collation Center physically. The scope, we carry the result from EC8D to the National Collation Center, together with the resident electoral commissioner, accompanied by the security agencies to the National Collation Center. So you are not likely going to see any presidential result on the IREV. That is not the intent of the law, and that's not what we've been asked to do.
Whoa, so but we've seen those of the House of Reps and the Senate, but we will not see that of the presidential. So are political parties aware of this?
Because some of those processes have already been concluded. So when the chairman concludes the collation of results at the National Collation Center, you may likely see it in our social media handles and also on our website.
Oh dear. Okay, so why is it that, the commission had a couple of briefings. We'll come back to that point. They had a couple of briefings while all of this was going on, and Nigerians were asking questions concerning what was going on with the portal, as we saw with Ekiti and Osun. But the commission was silent about it. There was not a word of explanation concerning what we were going to expect or what we were going to see. Why was that the case?
Well, I think the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission as the Chief Electoral Officer of the Federation and the returning officer for the presidential election, has made it very clear that in between his briefings, that there will be further briefings, and that if there's the need for any explanation in terms of issuing a press statement, that we are definitely going to do that. When I step out now, I'm going to go and consult him. Maybe there may be an explanation that the chairman may want to make, or there may be a press statement that the commission wants to issue relating to the issue you have raised. But I need to consult the chairman before I can give you a conclusive answer in relation to this particular question.
But Mr. Okoye, I think you will also do well to let him know that Nigerians are demanding an apology from the commission, because they're really angry right now concerning what's going on. They don't understand why there isn't any results at the moment.
No. The results we are demanding for, what we are demanding for is not in accordance with the law. I've told you that by the provisions of Section 50, Section 60, and Section 64 of the Electoral Act 2022, what the law demands is that the results from the polling units should be uploaded into our INEC Result Viewing Portal. So what we are likely going to see is only results from the polling units. You are not going to see any presidential election results, because that's not the intent of the law, and that's not what the law demands that we should do.
Mr. Okoye, I do not know whether we are all, speaking the same language, or whether we all understand what it is that you're saying. If you say that we're going to see the results from the polling units, I imagine that they're going to be taking a picture of the election result sheet at the polling units. Is that correct?
Exactly.
So it means that they will take the election result sheet for both, for the House of Reps, for the Senate, and also the presidential elections. Is that correct?
Exactly.
If that is the situation, how come it is that at 3:30 or, almost 4 p.m. on Sunday afternoon, we're yet to see even 50% of those snapped or scanned result sheets from polling units across the country as at, almost 4 p.m. today? That's the question people are asking.
These elections are conducted. We conducted this election in 176,606 polling units across all the states of the Federation. It is the responsibility of the presiding officers and the registration area technical support staff to assist in making sure that these results are uploaded into our INEC Result Viewing Portal. Some of them, we are not uploading the results with the speed we expected them to upload the results. So our IT support staff have been contacting all of them, or most of them, to make sure that they do the right thing and make sure that they upload these results in real time, so that Nigerians will have confidence and see these results as they are coming in. So as I speak, our IT specialists are talking to the various registration area technical support staff to make sure that they do the right thing and upload these results into the INEC Result Viewing Portal.
Yeah, but isn't the commission concerned? Because you have just said that they are not doing it at the speed with which even the commission itself had expected. So isn't the commission concerned that at the close of polling, which they had expected would have finished in many polling units as at yesterday, and results declared in those polling units, that as at this time today, it's almost 4 p.m. on Sunday, on the 26th of February, that they are yet to see those results? Isn't the commission concerned about how this could impact the credibility of the polls it has conducted?
Oh, definitely we are concerned, and that was why I explained that at the level of the commission, the chairman of the commission is concerned about it, and we have contacted the various states, the various resident electoral commissioners, and the various electoral officers, and the various supervisory presiding officers to impress it on them on the need for them to do the right thing. We have registration area technical support staff who are supposed to assist and support the various presiding officers upload these results into our INEC result viewing portal. So as I speak, at the level of our situation room and at the level of ICCC, they are contacting all the presiding officers and the registration area technical support staff to get them to do what they are supposed to do. And that's exactly what we are doing presently.
For now.
Okay, we're going to go back to that conversation in a bit. I love the internet. You can pause a live interview, rewind, fast forward. We'll go back to that in a bit. Chief, you have been raising hell. Are you satisfied now?
No.
No?
No.
No?
No.
Why?
Well, let me start by saying, Lagos, you just heard Festus Okoye acknowledge that the commission is concerned. First of all, he acknowledged that these results from the polling units should have been uploaded onto iRev by the Beavers machine in real time. Those were his words. In real time. Let me break that down. In real time means it should have happened yesterday at the polling units, not today. Real time means live. It should be happening live, right? So that nobody has time to go away and cook the results. That's what Festus Okoye just acknowledged. So he has acknowledged that something went wrong with the process, which is that these things should have been uploaded. Those results should have been uploaded from the polling unit to our server, the IRF server, in real time, and that didn't happen. So I am happy that INEC has finally acknowledged that. But here's what I'm not happy with. Having known and seen that something as critical as uploading the results in real time didn't happen, what is the remediation? Remember I said after acknowledging, you must do a remediation. He's saying that they are begging. That's basically what he's saying. That INEC, that they are asking the RAC technical teams and RAC IT teams and the SPOs to please do their best to upload these results. But the results are late. The results are now too late to certify that they are the actual results from the polling unit. At this point, we should be hearing, how do we rectify? How do we go and verify that these are the correct results? That's what INEC should be telling us now. And whose head it should roll? What is the problem? What caused this kind of massive failure that you yourself are concerned about? I didn't hear any of that. At least not yet. Maybe when you're on pause.
Maybe when I on pause. Okay, we have a break coming up in 1 minute, but before that break, it's interesting. I just saw a report about a polling unit officer who arrived late to the coalition facility in Ikwere local government area, Rivers, and he says that he took home election result sheets so that he can shower and change his clothes. Other polling agents also offered similar explanations for why they disappeared for long hours from polling centers with the polling results and all the other election materials when election is done at a polling unit. Chief, you're shaking your leg. Why? Why are you shaking your leg, Chief?
Why do we care about you going to take a shower on voters' time? What is that? Is this how they were trained? Professor Yakubu, is this how you trained your ad hoc staff to administer an election?
Well, I'm reading from other ad hoc staff, and the other ad hoc staff said that during the training, they were told on no account should you go home, should you go anywhere else with the results, you take it back to the collation center.
So now that we have an ad hoc staff, and this is not the only place, we have some reports of ad hoc staff taking the materials away and taking them to their private houses. What's the punishment going to be? And are those results from those places going to be cancelled, or are they going to be upheld?
Okay, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll keep listening to Festus Okoye. We'll come to you, Lagos. I'm going to be here past 4 p.m. because, there's so much ground to cover. And I'm going to try and be here until the INEC chairman comes back on at 6 p.m. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. This is Nigeria Info.
I'm not afraid of that man. Me too. What can you really do? I hope you people are discussing about paying me my rent. Oga Landlord, calm down. We are discussing about the upcoming elections.
Nonsense! Don't tell me to calm down. Your mates are at the Akamata Community Square selling their votes for 5,000 naira. But you are here doing what I don't know.
Oga Landlord, do you know that 5,000 naira spread over the next 4 years is just 4 naira per day? Is this what we should sell our votes for? God forbid.
Oga Landlord, wise up. We must vote in the right people this time, instead of selling our votes to people who have nothing good to offer our community.
That one is your business. You ladies better go and collect yours. If that will help you gather my rent at the end of the month. Do not listen to people like this landlord. Election is not a business venture. It's your civic duty to your country to help elect the right leaders who will create a better life for you and a great future for your children. Do not sell your future. Do not sell your vote. This message is brought to you by the Center for Democracy and Development, CDD, with support from the MacArthur Foundation.
Group A of the I Beg to Differ Tournament of Champions has 3 ambitious debaters gunning for glory. Deborah Pamzat went from playoffs to runner-up in March 2022 in upset after upset. But this time, Lagos knows never to underestimate her. Chiagozie Isidore Ogbonna Ugu won the match, beating future champion Ruth Okorocha. But he lost in the quarterfinals of that same tournament to fight Tamvita Kaushik. The first ever champion is the group's top seed. Will she retain her undefeated streak? Find out this March at the I Beg to Differ Tournament of Champions on 99.3 Nigeria Info FM and Wazobia Max TV.
Welcome back to your number 1 talk, news, and sports station. This is Nigeria Info.
I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. This is Mandate 23, brought to you by Nigeria Info 99.3. Let me take you back to Abuja, where Festus Okoye was speaking earlier about some of the questions that we all have about the transmission of results, the transmission of the presidential results, most especially all of those questions. He tried to answer them for the journalists at Channels TV. Here it is.
Number of Nigerians, I think the question is, why isn't the INEC chairman addressing this particular lapse, this obvious concern that apparently INEC also has? Why isn't he saying anything about it in any of the press briefings that he's had?
Well, whether we have the chairman is addressing it. It's not everything that he will say in a press briefing. You have your correspondents at the National Collation Center. They didn't ask him that question. There's a possibility that if they had asked him that question, he would have addressed it. But at the level of our own situation room, we know the concerns of Nigerians, and we are also addressing it at the level of the commission. And I want to assure you that the issue will be resolved speedily. We are addressing the issue.
Ms. Okoye, when you say that the INEC officials in the polling unit are not doing what they're supposed to do at the time they're supposed to do it, one would think that INEC did not think through its processes before selling what they might describe as a dummy to the public. How would you say that you have the device, the BVAS used to capture the result, and we were told in our polling units, for instance, that as soon as you're done with the election, we'll take a picture of it, and whether there's internet access at that particular moment or not, anytime we get to where there's access, the results will go up immediately. And now you tell us that they are not uploading as they're supposed to. How are we supposed to believe anything you're saying?
No. I think that you have to put what is going on within context.
Please explain that context.
Yesterday, I saw so many of the results from for federal constituencies and for senatorial districts. And by 10 p.m. yesterday, I saw so many of the results emanating in relation to presidential election results. Now, you will agree with me that there were some polling units that did not complete the process on time, and even some polling units where the process is even continuing. So we don't expect all the results to come in at the same time. What we expect is that if a presiding officer has challenge in uploading the result, that there's a registration area technical support staff that ought to assist the presiding officer do the right thing. I believe that our processes are robust. Our IREV is very, very robust, and I'm confident that before as we move on with the electoral process, the bulk of the results are going to come in. I don't know the number we have on the IREV as at now, but I believe that a substantial number of the results are coming in and will come in.
All right, Mr. Okoye, I know that you did mention sections 50, 60, and 64 of the Electoral Act, where you talked about the process of uploading results. But I'm looking at those sections now, if I heard you correctly. Section 50 talks about conduct of poll by open secret ballot. Section 60 talks about counting of votes and forms. And 64 talks about endorsement on rejected ballot paper without official mark. The one that comes closest to what I think you're talking about.
Read through. Go to section 64, subsection 6.
Where the collation of results, where there's a dispute regarding the collated result or the result of an election from any polling unit, the collation officer or returning officer shall use the following to determine the correctness of the disputed results. Now, we're not aware, the commission hasn't spoken about any dispute whatsoever. You're talking about uploading the results.
You have to read, because those are the sections where the law mentions at what stage we should transmit election results and to which of the phases election results are going to be transmitted.
All right, Mr. Okoye, we'll come back to this in a moment, but at the moment, we do have to thank you for your time here. But you have said that you're going to consult with the commission, and if we heard you right, we will not see any presidential results. Is that right? Up until the commission announces them.
That's exactly it's only the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission that has the constitutional and legal virus to make a declaration and make a return. And until he does that, no other Nigerian can do that.
All right, Mr. Festus Okoye, thank you for your time today.
Chief, you've just heard that conversation. What do you think?
Thank you. Here's the first thing I want to talk about. He acknowledged, right, that in terms of BVAS and electronic transmission and upload of results onto IREV, they are seeing lots of polling units where there's the House of Reps result was transmitted, the Senate result was transmitted, and then miraculously the presidential result was not transmitted. So 2 out of 3, and it's always the same one that is not transmitted, the presidential. Now, Sandra, I don't know, maybe INEC is using 3 different internets. Maybe they're using one internet for House of Rep result, one internet for Senate, and one internet for presidential results, because I'm scratching my head to explain why statistically the one result that is always the one that fails to be transmitted is the presidential. It's only the presidential result that gets stuck on the internet. When it's time to transmit the senatorial and the reps result, the internet works just fine. Once it's time to transmit the presidential result, suddenly the internet says, I'm shy. I don't want to do presidential results. Please, no, I'm off. Like, shouldn't that communicate to INEC that this isn't a technical failure? Because if Festus Okoye came and said to me, oh, we're seeing that in polling units, entire results are not coming up, then I can say, okay, maybe that's a network failure or a server error or something of that nature. But why is the result, it's always the presidential result that has the problem? So the same unit, the same BVAS machine is able, from the same unit on the same internet, to transmit the National Assembly results, 2 of them. But when it's time to transmit the presidential result, all across the country, that's the one where we are having the failure.
Okay, I will say this. I'm currently looking at a result on IREV, on INEC election results.ng, the official INEC results portal. I'm currently looking at a presidential election result. I'm currently looking at one from right here in Lagos. This is from Eleshin Town Hall, Agurek Bomi Ikorodu. And this is showing that it was created February 26, 2023 at 3:13:01 p.m.
Exactly.
So,
and that's you've just described the problem, Sandra. Especially when you rewind to yesterday, and as early as yesterday, while you and I were on air here, people were complaining about this thing that now it's no longer me and people saying it. Festus Okoye himself has confirmed it, that yesterday the INEC officials were transmitting Senate and Reps results and not transmitting presidential results.
Right.
Now, the problem again, point number 2 is that as Festus Okoye himself, now not me, has indicated, the results were meant to be transmitted in real time. It's not just a matter of putting the results on the portal, Sandra. A result that came on the portal at 3:30 today does not have the same integrity as a result that came on the portal at 3:30 or 4:30 yesterday.
Okay.
The latter came in real time. The former came 24 hours after the election, and not sent from the polling unit, not sent in front of a crowd of voters, sent in privacy somewhere at a time when it could have been altered. So that's the problem. So when we say, oh, the results are now on the portal, that's not enough. The time for the results to go on the portal was live from the polling units yesterday, when voters were there to verify that it was the correct result being uploaded. But now, if a result is being uploaded today at 3:30, are the voters there? They are not there.
Okay.
Meaning that the INEC staff who uploaded that result had enough room. I did not say they did it, but they had enough room to write a fake result,
If
take
they
a
wanted to.
picture of that result, and upload that onto iRev.
Okay, but we don't know that they did that.
We don't know that they did that.
And we're not saying that they did that.
And I'm not saying that they did that, but here's what I am saying. The law that Festus Okoye himself is quoting bans them from doing this.
Yes.
It requires them to send these results yesterday from the polling unit.
Lagos, let me hear what you thought about the answers from Festus Okoye. Were they satisfactory as far as you are concerned? 0700-993-993 993 0700-993 993 01465 7190. That's for women. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. By the way, I've been told that I can only be here until 4:55 because Man United and Newcastle are playing a final match today, and we have to bring that to our listeners who love football. So the sports gang will be here from 5 p.m. when the match starts. So make sure that you're still here for that. So tomorrow at 3, I'll be back on your air, bringing you hard facts as usual. The morning crossfire will be on at 5. So all the updates we have about elections, you're going to have them. We'll also have What's Up Lagos, Sunnyside. Nigeria Info will essentially be covering elections until we have results. That's what it's going to be. 99.3. Hello. Thanks for calling us.
Good afternoon, Sandra.
Good afternoon, sir. What's your name?
IK from Agege.
What's your name?
IK from Agege.
IK, welcome.
Sandra,
Yes.
this is face-to-face 419.
This is what?
This is face-to-face 419 for my neck.
Face-to-face 419.
Yes, for my neck.
Okay.
Except if they run this election, that is when I will believe this result. That is my pick.
All right. All right. Thank you very much for calling. All right, Lagos, let's keep talking. We've got so many calls. 99.3. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
My name is Ugochukwu. I'm calling you from Ugochukwu. I'm calling you from
Ugochukwu, you're calling our number for women. Oh, yes.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Call us back on the right number. 99.3. Hello.
Hello.
Thanks
Good
for calling.
afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name, ma'am?
I'm calling from Ogun State. This is Sarah calling from Ogun State.
Welcome, Sarah from Ogun State.
Good evening, Sandra.
Good evening.
In fact, I'm not satisfied with the explanation Mr. Okoye gave.
Okay.
And I'm not so happy with all that transpired in this election.
Okay.
It's so disappointing, really. And my suggestion is that, is there no way INEC can, introduce the use of, just like we have ATM machine and the ATM card.
Okay.
Is there no way INEC can, develop to that level to have a machine like that? I mean, with all the resources the federal government have put into INEC, I think they should come up with something like that, because at least, like in the banking system, that ATM machine is really helpful. It has gone a long way to do a lot of things for us and save a lot of banking stress. So if they can come up with something like that, I think there will be no, room for all this rigging. But I want to, think that maybe because of this, because most people are benefiting from this rigging issue. Maybe that's why they don't want it to work. Because I don't see how it's not going to be possible. If they really want to do it, it's possible.
All right. Thank you very much for calling. Now, one would argue, of course, that we already have an ATM-like thing. That's what BVAS is supposed to be, right?
Yeah, I think the caller was referring specifically to electronic voting.
Okay.
So that's actual using a machine to vote.
Right.
But I want to just tell Nigerians this. No machine will save you. So let me explain. And I'm talking now as a tech person now, a former computer programmer, and now currently a product manager. If you set up voting machines, right? Now, with a voting machine, right? I vote, and the machine is a computer, records my vote in the hard drive, and if the vote says I voted for Sandra, right? Now, let's say Sheriff is your opponent.
Right.
Sheriff goes to INEC. Sheriff gives INEC 1 billion naira and says to INEC, look, I want to be able to change results on the voting machine. The voting machine was built by people. The voting machine will be run by INEC's ICT team. The voting machine, the ICT team will have access to the voting machine. The voting machine runs on software. What if now, as Sheriff gives them 1 billion, the INEC ICT staff put a script on the voting machine, and the script simply says, anytime somebody votes for Sandra, change that vote to a vote for Sheriff. Now, what happens is that at the end of voting, time to count the results, you open up you tell the computer show the results. It shows you the results. Sandra got 0 votes. Sandra got 3 votes. Sheriff got 50 votes. Oh, Sheriff has won. There is no evidence. That the result was doctored. That's the danger of using electronic voting in a very corrupt society, in a low trust society. The only way you can overcome that is what they do in some place, like in America now. Almost every you've covered the election in America in November. In almost every constituency in America where they use electronic voting, when you finish voting, it gives you a printout. There are 2 printouts that come out of how you voted. One printout for you, like a receipt for you, the voter. A second printout that goes into the ballot box. Then later, when they come, they will still count the ballot box, the ballot papers. That's what they use to confirm the result. So if we're still, the only way to guarantee a free and fair electronic vote is to still go back to use paper ballots, what's the point? So here's my thing to Nigerians, and this is my challenge to all Nigerians listening to me. Stop thinking INEC will give you a magic bullet for free and fair elections. Like the previous caller rightly said, there is an incentive always to have the election be corruptible, because money can change hands. So what needs to happen instead is that the Nigerian voter, the only person whose incentive is to have a free and fair election, needs to have more control over the process. So instead of asking INEC for more technology, the technology is fine. I'm okay with adding more technology. But we should also be demanding more oversight of the elections. What do I mean by that? I mean, we need to put an end to this idea that we shouldn't announce the results right away, that we have to wait for the official results to be announced. You can't do that in a system where you can't trust the officials. How do you say wait for the officials to announce the results when we can't trust the officials? We need to change the rules, change the law, so that as results are being done at a polling unit, the media, for example, has the right to snap those results as they are doing, report them in real time, and tell us at this point, at this polling unit, party ABC got 50 votes, party XYZ got 100 votes. Then let the media and other like observers and other independent bodies be doing their own collation out in public. Then we can compare that to whatever result INEC is bringing. That's the only way. See, this long gap between voting and announcement of results never favors Nigerian people. It only favors those who want to change results. Think about it. Don't you want to know the result as soon as you vote? What do you gain by having the result delayed?
Where does that come from?
It comes from the military era. It comes from the military era. Those of us, our fathers and mothers among us now who saw the First Republic can confirm for me that this wasn't happening in the First Republic. Rigging was happening in the First Republic, but there was no law that, you can't announce results. Results were being announced however they wanted to be. I think the first election where we had this was 1979. Again, after the military came, and military were the ones supervising our elections. Same thing with this, our rules about no movement during elections. Those are military introductions. We didn't have them in the First Republic. We didn't have them when the British were here. And we did elections while the British were here. These are the things that actually get in the way. Okay, so let me give you another example of what we could do differently. Festus Okoye just told us that in every RAC, there's the RAC ICT team that coordinates with the polling unit people and is there trying to work with them. Now, right now, if we ask INEC, can you give us evidence of all the incident reports that came from polling units to RACs saying we are having problem with beavers? You'll be interested to see how many reports actually were made, right? So here's my question: why shouldn't voters have access to that incident report center, that ICT center, so that we can see in real time? They told us at my polling unit that beavers doesn't work and they're looking for help. Has the report come in? What percentage of places where beavers went down was there a report? Then at state level or at national level, let the rec come and say, well, here in Lagos, we got, out of the 10,000 polling units, we had beavers failure in 1,000 of them. In those 1,000, we got reports and incident reports from the SPOs within 30 minutes of the failure. We went to rectify it. We could rectify it in 300 of them. In 700, we couldn't rectify. Because we couldn't rectify in those 700, election is postponed there until we can figure out what happened with the beavers or whatever it is. Where is that level of transparency here? It's possible, right? The problem is that most of the time, Nigerians don't think about that. Nigerians don't think about what else should this person with power be doing to make themselves accountable to me. Instead, we just accept what they've said to us is what they can. Well, I want to believe that they are doing their. No, you're not supposed to want to believe that anybody with power is doing their best. That's not how a democracy works. In a democracy, you're supposed to want to believe that anybody with power is doing their worst. They are acting in their own self-interest against you, but that's why you have the power to put them in check. INEC has shown us that either from incompetence or from circumstances beyond their control or from internal corruption or for a combination of all three, we cannot allow them to run an election without public oversight of every step of the process, including incident reports.
Okay, we've got a message here from Esteri in Badagry. Esteri says, considering all the video evidence of widespread thuggery, intimidation, and violence by thugs that we witnessed yesterday, how can Nigerians compel INEC to disqualify the political parties responsible, at least in Lagos? These are all electoral offenses for which penalty is disqualification. Give me a short answer.
At the end of the day, you're supposed to carry all this, your evidence, and go to INEC and shout.
Right.
INEC, if you follow the official processes, INEC has a very long history of saying, well, we are not aware, or we are concerned, and acting like they don't know. Look, if something went wrong in a polling unit, INEC knows the name and identity of the staff and ad hoc staff who were at that polling unit. If something goes wrong at a collation center, INEC knows the name, identity of all the staff at that collation center. So it should not be hard for INEC to hand them over to the police.
Okay, we've got someone here from Berigbe. Emmy from Berigbe says, I was at that voting unit 030 that you called the votes just yesterday. Voting ended on time before 2 p.m. and it was smooth. Okay, so 24 hours later, the vote was uploaded. We've got Yinka. Yinka says, why can't INEC print very clear and well visible, easily readable logos and names of the parties on all the ballot sheets without any fading? Why can't INEC print and paste postals around the polling booths showing big visual of the ballot sheet to educate the voters on how to locate the parties? Yesterday, there were so many complaints of fading party logos and names on ballot sheets. Election for all the polling booths that failed to upload result sheets within 30 minutes after they've been counted should be notified. All right. Suleiman Okedara says, Sandra Otilo, delay is dangerous, says the wise man. We've got Amaka from Festac who says, the only reason I came out to vote was because INEC promised me that the results from the polling units will be uploaded to the INEC server in real time. Now imagine what INEC is serving me. I am beyond disappointed. Amaka from Festac. We've got a message here. Festus Okoye's answer isn't satisfactory at all. He even said the INEC officials are not supposed to upload the presidential results, but permitted to upload that of the other two. Did you see how his voice was shaking as a line? Error. If any result isn't uploaded at the PUs before the voters, the aim of Beavers is completely defeated.
Just to clarify, Festus Okoye did not say that they're not meant to upload the results. I think one of the interviewers did not understand and could not speak well. What Festus Okoye, that's why they, you need Sandra Ezekwesili to be the one interviewing people like this. What Festus Okoye was saying was that, yes, all results should be uploaded from the polling unit, but that nobody can announce any result, any presidential result, until Mahmoud Yakubu does so. So that's a very different thing. Upload. He was talking about announce, not upload. You can't announce, but please, we should have been uploading. And that's why he said he was concerned that those results did not come yesterday in real time. Unfortunately, concern is not important.
Jake from Surulere says, I'm extremely shocked at the response from Mr. Festus. If indeed the IREB was introduced to curb the usual manipulation at collation centers, then it's shocking hearing Festus sounding nonchalant about the urgency of getting the results uploaded. Jake, thank you for your message. Ben from Agidingbi says, INEC has made nonsense of our efforts since yesterday. If political parties reject whatever results INEC announces, they are right to do so. We cannot accept all these shenanigans. Do they think Nigerians are fools? This message here says the same who were counting vote and shouting thank you Jesus are not satisfied with the election whose result is yet to be declared. Okay, we've got Innocent from Oshodi who says, Madam Sandra, what else do you want to hear from us other than INEC has successfully... I'm not going to read that message. I
take it he's displeased with INEC.
Okay, let's go up. Dennis from Surulere says, please, can you help me play the jingle on how to log on to INEC results portal? Okay. All right. Let's Let's I'll play that towards the end of the show. All right, I'll do that towards the end of the show. We've got someone here, Tony from Ijebode, who says, can we imagine, since yesterday results have not been uploaded to INEC server, the results of yesterday shouldn't be acceptable. Now, I don't think people should be in a hurry to reject results, because at this moment you have no idea what results are being uploaded because you haven't checked.
But at this moment, it is fair to say that the fail-safe measure put in place to ensure beyond a shadow of a doubt that the results being uploaded are authentic results was broken. If the results were uploaded in real time from the polling units yesterday afternoon, nobody will be saying anything. The moment INEC failed to do that and failed to put in place measures to get that done right away and correct that, INEC opened themselves up to people saying, regardless of result, we don't trust this. So now what needs to happen now is INEC needs to call on Nigerians for help. INEC needs to call on Nigerians and say, look, we don't trust what our staff have done. We don't understand why our staff have taken 24 hours to upload some of these results. We are concerned, as Festus Okoye said. But now we know that all of you were at those polling units and some of you took pictures of the results. Please upload them.
I've got a message here. Electronic voting.
Then let's compare. Electronic
voting is the easiest to rig. Ordinary PHP script will do the job of rigging.
Exactly.
I've got this message here. Fabian from Ekpe says, the presiding officer at my voting unit, Hopewell 003, was the most clueless of the three present. We had to insist on their concluding at the proper time. I pity Mr. Festus Okoye, but Nigerians should brace up. Enoch from New Road says, this is not what INEC told us. We were all happy that with Bivas, the results will be uploaded immediately after voting. What is holding the results? Please. We'll take this final message from Ngozi and then I'll come to you on the phone lines. Please, I suggest that these elections should be rescheduled and segmented, maybe state by state or 3 states in a day. The story from INEC is becoming too long. Nigerians do not have trust for INEC anymore. Okay, let's come to the phone lines now. Ground rules. Don't tell me the result of your polling unit. Don't tell me who won your polling unit. Don't tell me about results that you're seeing on the internet. Talk to me about the interview you heard with Festus Keyamo on, sorry, not Festus Keyamo now, Festus Okoye on Channels TV. Festus Okoye is a spokesperson for INEC. Talk to me about his answers. Were they satisfactory to you? Do you feel like he's answered some of the burning questions that you have? What do you think about some of the points my guest on the show today is making? Chief Andy Obuoforibo on the show with me during this analysis. I am Sandra Ezekwesili. You're listening to Monday 2023 on Nigeria Info 99.3. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. Did you try and vote yesterday? Did you try to vote today? What was your experience? 99.3.
Hello, good afternoon, good evening.
Good evening, sir. What's your name?
My name is Kingsley. I'm calling from Ikorodu.
Welcome, Kingsley.
Unfortunately, I could not vote yesterday because I changed my where I was living before.
Okay.
My residence.
Okay.
So I couldn't because of that I couldn't vote.
Okay.
So with the interview, Festus Okoye. I'm listening to you people, your commentary on in radio. Honestly, for that result, presidential result, to be delayed up till now, what they are going to give us is not actually what Nigerians voted.
We don't know that
because even if a child, because during Jega, by now. During that period, by now, some of the results from some states, we would have known it by now. So this one is delaying. Okay, why is it only the presidential result? Even apart from that, upon all things that happened in Lagos yesterday, no arrest. Well, we did not hear say they arrested anybody.
No, the police say they've arrested 20 people. The police say they've arrested 20
people. Madam Sandra is annoying. Is annoying. What we are getting from INEC now is not what we bargained for.
All right. Thank you very much, sir, for calling. Yes, the police says that they made 20 arrests of people who disrupted elections across Lagos yesterday. In other parts of the country, we also heard of arrests. EFCC picked people up who tried to buy votes, picked women up who had multiple PVCs. There have been arrests going on all over the country. 99.3. Hello.
Sandra.
How you doing,
Good
sir?
Afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, my name is Dan Baba.
Welcome, Dan Baba.
I sincerely want to thank your guest for being honest. And it's unfortunate where we find ourselves today. I am not surprised. I have always said that INEC has never been an independent body before. Because I have never seen a country or where you put something you call independent under a presidential arm of government. The president is a politician. The people that work for president are the member of his a political party. How can you say independent body, arms of government, is also under another arms of government? It's not done anywhere. It's just like a police IT. You said he take order from the president, the chief of army staff, the chief of air staff, until INEC himself can decide on what to do on their own. Look at the National Assembly, who is meant to, supervise the government. Look at the amount of honest that are there. As we are talking today, a lot of governors who is going to be ex-governor in future are contesting for Senate to go there. What are they going there to do? Like your guest say, until we the people are ready, that is when INEC will serve us. But we will continue like this. Nothing will happen. Since yesterday, I've been telling my friend that look, that gap that will give INEC, the breathing space will give them from yesterday till now, is the space that they will use to manipulate us. Look at what is happening now. The first of Okeye could not even defend or answer any question. It's just, stammering when Tabali was asking him. It's unfortunate.
All right, thanks for calling. I should mention that I'm seeing yet another presidential result. This one is from Imo, from Idato North. And this was uploaded at 4:30 p.m. today, February 26th, 4:30 p.m. So I am seeing a number of presidential results getting uploaded on the iRev portal. 99.3. Hello.
Sandra, please, I want to confess.
What do you want to confess?
I'm a Yahoo guy, and I made up my mind to stop it. If the right thing is done, or what is going on, my dear, I'm sorry for people who earn living in this country. And that man in the studio, I owe him one bottle of Hennessy SO.
I won't take it from you.
No problem. I know you won't. I'm feeling pained with what is going on here. This country is Yahoo on itself. Good afternoon, Sandra.
Good afternoon.
I mean, look at a Yahoo person coming to complain about Yahoo. I really don't understand. Why are we as a society? You see, this is what's happening. Now tomorrow you put in someone like that to run an election. Of course, he's going to take money and do everything. We have to get to a point in this society where we decide that all fraud is bad. So like you can't come and say that, it's because of what the government is doing, that's why you're doing that. Your mates who are not doing that and who are going instead and standing up for themselves and bringing generators to the polling unit and bringing their cars and putting on their headlights and cooking so that they can stay overnight and say we die here, and are bringing their mattresses and are doing all of that with hard-earned money without fraud. Like do they have two heads? As far as I'm concerned, anybody doing fraud is no better than anybody rigging an election.
99.3. Hello. Sorry about that. Call back if you can. Hello. How you doing?
Good afternoon, Sandra.
Good afternoon, sir. What's your name?
This is Ibikunle calling from Lotify by Korodo.
Welcome, Ibikunle.
I want to tell Nigerians to keep calm. People are promising brainstorm. In fact, some obedient are having meeting on what is it called? Twitter right now.
Okay, so nobody. So hold on. No one who has called so far has talked about any political party. I don't want this to become a political party tussle. So I would advise that you rein yourself in and don't talk about any political parties. Just make your point without naming political parties.
I'm not speaking about political parties.
You just called the supporters of a political party. I've been getting messages about political parties. Ibikule, I've been getting messages about political parties, and I've been doing my best to not name any political parties.
Okay, I'm
asking you to do the same.
Can I continue?
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. What I'm trying to say is the result has not been announced. People should keep calm. You get it now. This country is ours. So when the result is announced, if anybody has any grievances, that person should seek redress through the legal means. The people calling for physical violence,
who has called for physical violence, Ibikunle?
That is exactly what I was trying to tell you, and you are telling me that I was discussing political.
Has anyone called for physical violence here on this show?
Hello?
Has anyone called for physical violence here on the show?
I'm telling you I'm telling that some people are having.
Has it happened on this show, Ibikunle? Has it happened on this show? You can't be a fifth columnist and you come to my show and try to use my show to raise annoyances that don't exist. Everyone who has been calling has been very restrained. Ibikunle came in here with conspiracy theories. Don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, I'm here to tell you, people should keep calm. Everybody has been calmly talking about their pain. 99.3, hello. Sorry about that. Call back if you can. 99.3, hello.
Hello, good afternoon, Sandra.
How you doing? What's your name?
I'm fine. And you?
I'm good. Welcome.
Yeah. Please, I'm begging Nigerians, let us face INEC. Let us talk to INEC, not by violence. Or I believe all of us will come out and talk to INEC. Because this is not what INEC promised us. INEC promised us that when we vote, we will stay there. If you like to stay, you stay there. They will count your results, and you get your result. They will send it to Abuja immediately. That was the promise of INEC. If INEC failed to do what they asked us, we are going to ask them to come and tell us why. We must ask them. We cannot keep quiet again. Enough is enough. INEC must tell us why they changed that system overnight. Thank you. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you very much for calling. Let me take a look at messages we have on WhatsApp. Sandra, your guest, Chief Andy, is speaking the minds of the people. There's heavy suspicion of incompetence or maybe collusion on the part of INEC. Alex once called on Hard Facts to say whenever Festus talks, she has nothing but plenty of doubts roaming her mind. Ayo from Lagos says, listening to Mr. Okoye today, I feel exactly that way. Yes, Chief, Mr. Oshotoku and Alex are all right. Ayo, thank you for your message. Rafiu from Moe says, why these unnecessary fears? Do you think politicians who invested a lot into this process will not monitor the process to the latter? Please quit spreading these unwarranted rumors as if INEC has compromised. I'm certain if the candidate you support is declared victorious, then INEC did a good job. First of all, no one has spread any rumors whatsoever. People have been validly complaining about a part of the process that they were promised by INEC failing. So, Rafi, when you say rumors, do you know the meaning of the word? Perhaps you should look in a dictionary and see what rumor means. Because no one has spread a rumor yet on the show. What everyone has called, well, except for Ibikunle, what everyone has called in to say on the show was, they did not upload my results at my polling unit. This is not what INEC promised. It is taking too long for this to happen. We are uncomfortable with what is happening. Where's the rumor there? Abi Chief, am I wrong?
Well, yeah, I mean, the mere fact, right, that we all just listened to Festus Okoye, a National Commissioner of INEC, admit that INEC itself has concerns about what happened yesterday going into today with electronic transmission, means that it is no more a rumor, even if you believed it was a rumor before that. But having heard from INEC itself saying that they are concerned about what happened, nobody should be able to call it a rumor anymore. That's one. Two, Rafiu, was that his name?
Rafiu, yes.
Rafiu said that do we think that the politicians who have invested so much in this process will fold their hands and let malpractice happen? I don't know whether Rafiu is new to Nigeria, so let me give him a bit of history.
Okay.
1999, politicians invested a lot in the process and still came out to say the election wasn't free and fair. 2003, politicians invested a lot in the process, still came out to say it wasn't free and fair. The current president Buhari went to court. 2007, politicians invested a lot. They still came out to say that the election wasn't free and fair. The current president Buhari, went to court. And the winner of that election, the 2007 election, Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, as president, came out and told Nigerians that, look, there were lots of irregularities in this election that produced me. This election wasn't free and fair. That means, that should point out to anybody who is thinking that politicians paying attention to election is not enough to make sure the election is free and fair. It's not enough to make sure that INEC will do the right thing. That it's not enough. But even beyond that, now this is my third point. Are you outsourcing your defense of your rights to the political parties? I guess Rafiu believes that elections are not for him. Rafiu believes that elections are for the political parties. Rafiu believes that the only people who have anything to gain or lose are the political parties. Rafiu does not realize that elections are to vote for the people who will create the education system for his children so that they will be better educated. Rafiu does not believe that elections are to pick the people who will create the healthcare system for him so that he will not die young. Rafiu does not believe that elections are there to choose the people that will put the security architecture in place for him so that he doesn't get kidnapped on Abuja-Kaduna Railway. Rafiu believes elections are just for the politicians so that they will enter office and eat. Because if not, I don't understand why Rafiu will say, well, politicians are putting eye, so all of you close eye.
We've got a message from Taiwo. Taiwo says, Sandra, from yesterday until now, presidential has not been uploaded, but the others are being uploaded. Well, like I've been saying to you, I've been checking the portal and I'm seeing a number of presidential
but
results.
Not uploaded in real time, Sandra. I think, Sandra, you have to keep mentioning that they were not uploaded in real time. And Festus Okoye himself, you and I both heard him here, say that the results were supposed to have been uploaded in real time. So even though the results are coming in now, and I honestly don't even care what those results are. I don't care who they are, who those results are favoring or not favoring. The fact that those results came one day late is enough for us to say we need some additional information and process. One, to ascertain why, and two, to go and verify that the results that are now appearing on the server are actually the results that the public, the voters, saw with their koro eye yesterday at the polling unit.
Okay. We've got messages on Twitter. Let me see. I'm doing my best to edit as many of these messages as possible.
Help Sandra. Don't insult anybody. Don't call your child. Just help Sandra.
I understand that people are angry, but please, the messages you send to me, if they are not radio friendly, I will not be able to read them on the show. Okay, let's come back to the phone lines. Again, ground rules for the phone lines. We're not talking about any political parties. We're not talking about any results. We're not talking about those are the two ground rules, right?
We're not insulting anybody.
We're not insulting anybody. We're not making statements that NBC will view as insightful or as incitement, and we're definitely not spreading rumors like Ibikunle, who called earlier on. 0700-993-993-993 01465-7190. Hello, good to have you on the show.
Hello, Sandra. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you doing?
Fine. I want to ask, has the INEC been able to explain why they have not uploaded the results this time? Presidential election result. Did they give any reason why?
Well, they said that they were having some technical issues, which is why Festus Okoye is calling technical people to work on it a bit faster.
Actually, Festus Okoye was careful not to say that they were having technical issues. He simply said the results were late, which is a concern, and that he has been talking to the technical people to assist the people. But you notice he actually did not say he did not really say that it was a technical issue. He was very careful with his language.
Okay, hello, I'm still on the line.
Yes, go ahead. I know.
This is making me very, very uncomfortable. Now, there is no way, by the grace of God, there is no way they can rig this election, because as a woman, I am above, I'm calling from Owe area, Nome.
Okay.
As a woman over 50, this is my first time to vote.
Oh.
And I voted, and I was waiting. It was counted in my presence. It was when my husband was not calling me that I left that place. I would have waited for it to be uploaded before I leave that place. Now, all of us, it's not possible for them to rig this election, because there is an eyewitness in all the stations that they allow, that the political thought did not disturb for the district to be counted. And we're all there. Like me now, I will not mention, I know what was counted in my presence in all the other political parties. So they should please, I may promise us a free and fair election. And I'm begging, I'm pleading with them for the sake of our children. We don't want to leave this country, our dear Nigeria. They should please give us a free and fair election. It should not be corrupted. It should not be rigged. Why should the result delay to this moment?
All right.
I'm not really comfortable at all, Sandra. In fact, my heart is pain.
Just calm down. Calm down. Let's not die before it's time to die. You know? Let's all be calm. Be calm. It's gonna work out. Be calm, okay?
Okay. To work out?
Don't quote me, Sha, but be calm.
You see now, if you work out, I should not quote you.
Don't quote me. Thank you for calling. 99.3, hello.
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, fine, Sandra.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Emmanuel.
Welcome, Emmanuel.
Yes, Sandra, well, I don't have much to say. If INEC has promised that they will give us free and fair election, and at the end, they don't, with the level of participation by Nigerians, which means they are on the verge of subverting the will of the people. And anything that comes out, well, I don't pray anything comes out, but at the end, because we can't continue like this as a nation. We cannot. One day, what will happen? We swallow everybody.
All right. There's nothing that's swallowing everybody. Thank you very much for calling.
Don't swallow me.
I should mention, however, that presidential election results often take a while to come. You know, they take a while to be announced. They're not announced on the very day. They're not announced the next day.
Sandra, are you talking about the final result?
The final result.
But
yes.
So you're not talking about the polling unit
I'm
results?
not talking about polling unit results. I'm talking about the final results. The final collated result.
But the problem
from
here,
the 36 states plus the FCT.
But Sandra, you acknowledge that the problem here, people are not complaining that we've not yet announced the presidential result. People are complaining that the result from the polling unit was not uploaded automatically.
No, some people are also complaining that the results are not out. Some people are also complaining that the results are not out, that the results haven't, we still don't know the results, you know. So I'm just reminding people that after every presidential election, there's this time that people spend waiting for the results to be collated all across Nigeria, you know. Now in the past it used to be a problem because you have people traveling by road, traveling by air, and so this electronic transmission thing was supposed to make it a bit easier, but I guess that's not what's going to happen here, because we still have the scopes who have to come from the different states and hand it over to INEC at the National Collation Center.
Yeah, that was always going to be the process here. That part was always going to happen. The only part that was going to be electronic was that first leg, and then after that the scopes will be moving with their own.
Exactly. So when you have that in mind, you remember that results will not be announced 24 hours later, 48 hours later. However, Nigerians are very right to be concerned that when you go to the website where INEC told us we can all go to and see how results are dropping in, and therefore we're able to see for ourselves what's happening with the results from all over the country, and Nigerians are going there and they're not seeing as many results as they should be seeing. By the way, as of this moment, 44,091 results have been submitted out of 176,846.
So 132,000 are yet to be
to be uploaded.
So 44
yes.
are in, 132 not in.
Yes, 44,000 have been submitted.
So about a quarter.
Yeah.
Have come in.
Yeah, in 24 hours. Is that slow or is that?
Well, since as Festus Okoye, I'm not going to quote myself, let it not be that I'm talking, but Festus Okoye has told us that those results should have been in his words, in real time. Now, in real time means instantly. It doesn't mean 24 hours later. So, if 3 hours after polls closed, we didn't have all 170 something thousand results on the portal, then it's too slow. It was too slow by 9 p.m. yesterday, Sandra.
I'm laughing because I just saw a picture on social media, allegedly of something that was uploaded to the portal, and it's a picture of people in a worship center instead of an election result. So that's why I'm laughing. Oh my God. Yesterday night, I saw someone's selfie instead of
the
result sheet as well. So these are all the things that they're probably going to need to sort through, and then we'll have results. Let me come back to the phone lines. We've got about what? We've got time. We've got 9 minutes. So let me come back to the phone lines and see who I can speak with. 99.3. Hello. Hello.
Sandra, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name, ma'am?
My name is Mercy.
Mercy, welcome.
Chief, God bless you for speaking our minds. Even when we are not seeing you, God bless you very much.
Mercy, thank you.
Anyways, here's my concern. So I said in my work yesterday, like 15 minutes. And I had this concern after our results were actually collected inside. Everything happened inside. There was nothing that would have warranted us to finish late. At about 4, we were done. I mean, when I say done, we already had our results and our winners, right? But then, today when Sheriff was reading out people the states and wards and polling leaders submitted the results, right? Ours was none, like one got scored, none. I was shocked because I going to see our results, and then they are going to upload it when they get to their office, local government, king, how do they call it? I don't know it right now. So my own concern here is that I think we have reasons to say that there is something that is happening that we are not knowing. Because I don't think I'm still going to, if I guess, because at the moment I don't have a means of checking it. I don't know, I'm a visual impact person, so I do not really know how to
check the website.
Right. So I don't know. So I'm just waiting to hear the results. I know all the results that was put there in my own word.
Yeah.
So when I hear the results and then I see and I see any inconsistency, then there's going to be a problem because I'm going to go on Twitter and tell INEC that this one, you know what it is, because I witnessed it, I was there. And then I was told that people were going to do it where we were seeing it, uploading it to the portal. They didn't. They waited and then they still did not do it until, because if they upload it by 8, it will still be late. Because they finished at about 4. So if they are uploading it 8 in the morning the next day, it's really
It's still late.
overlooked.
It's still late. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right. You're right. Oh, sorry about that. Thank you so much for calling. Let me mention as well that I've just seen a result from Woji Obiakbo, a presidential result uploaded at 4:33 p.m. Okay. 99.3. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. What's your name, ma'am?
I'm Clementina speaking.
Welcome, Clementina.
I'm calling from Surulere.
Okay.
Thank you. I really want to talk about the voting yesterday. I was actually at the polling unit. I saw the way everybody voted in joy. And at the end of the day, at the point whereby the PO of that particular unit wanted to upload, that of the senatorial and the House of Reps went through, but that of the presidential did not go through. And I wondered why. We stayed there up until 7 o'clock before they were able to upload offline. They had to put up because other people brought their own Wi-Fi's and other things to as in assist them in uploading, but it was not just going through at all. So at the end of the day, everything were uploaded offline. This unit did theirs, it went offline, then they had to go to other units and start telling them, okay, we posted our own offline. So they started doing it. At the end of the day, some couldn't wait because there was violence around that area. So they had to go back to their center. So from there, they stayed and they were trying to upload. Later on, everybody did it offline.
Okay.
So that was how it all ended. So I don't know if that one that was posted offline would get to the national body. I don't know. Or
it's supposed to.
There.
It's supposed to. So when you upload offline, once you connect to the internet, it's supposed to automatically just upload onto IREV. That's what INEC says is supposed to happen.
Okay.
So let me say it like that.
So
INEC says that's how it's supposed to happen. Yes, those that did offline.
Many people stayed and made sure they saw it being uploaded. They did not leave.
Good.
Even if there were two brothers, one will say why the other goes to another polling unit just to make sure that everything
was
uploaded. So I believe it's going to be very fine.
All right, thank you very much. Again, keep calm, Nigeria. Keep calm, Lagos. Kayode Samuel says nothing is going on or happening to the results. Please let your guests in the house know that there are 176,980 polling units. Please, there's a need to wait for each and every result sent to be processed and the authenticated and final collation is done. Uploading of results and collating the results cannot be automatic. It must be processed and then single result is released. Atanda Kayode Samuel with that message.
Atanda Kayode Samuel, please go and read the Electoral Act. There are two separate processes. I agree with you that the collating of the results, I agree with him, that collating the results takes time. INEC has never told us collation will be instant. They told us to be manual, it will take time, yes. But before collation, results must be transmitted from the polling unit to the collation center. That one, INEC told us is instant. INEC told us that at the polling unit, it will be sent electronically. That's the electronic transmission all of us were talking about. It will be transmitted electronically, and that in real time, not my words, Festus Okoye's, in real time, it will be transmitted and appear on the IREV portal.
Right.
Meaning that even if after that, collation takes 5 days,
right,
in those 5 days, at any point you go to the server, the portal and look, you will see the results sheets from all 176,000 polling units.
Right.
Those should have all been uploaded yesterday.
Right.
Then it will now take INEC time to go through each of them and add them up, collate them and all of that.
Right.
Two entirely different things. So please don't, Kayode, don't conflate them into one thing and say, oh, no, it was meant to take days. There's a reason why Festus Okoye, not me, came on air today and said he is concerned, that INEC is concerned that those results were not uploaded from the polling units yesterday. If INEC says they're concerned, who am I not to be concerned?
Okay, let's leave it at that. Thank you so much, Chief, for joining our election coverage. Chief joins us every Friday for global stories, Big Three Global. But for elections, we decided to borrow him as well because Chief has been a voter, he's been a candidate, he's been a political agent, he's been a political observer, he's been a situation room war chief, he's also an actual chief. And he's been in monitoring and evaluation, and well, these days he's in product management in the tech ecosystem. Thank you so much for your time and for bringing your valuable insights to our coverage.
Always glad to be here, Sandra.
Lagos, I'll be back tomorrow at 3. For those of you who love football, enjoy the match coming up between Newcastle and Manchester United. If football isn't your cup of tea, well, try and stay calm. Find something to distract yourself. I hope, the same way that you do, that INEC will come through for all Nigerians, right? I'm going to echo the words of most Nigerians, including some of the political parties that have spoken at the moment. You have Atiku Abubakar of the PDP, you have Aking, the DG for Labour Party. These men saying, we need INEC to prove us wrong. So the suspicion is good, because you should always be suspicious of those who have power. The marking them back to back is very good, but stay hopeful. All right, I'm Sandra Ezekwesili on social media. Ezekwesili everywhere. Those were your hard facts, Lagos. No, that was Monday 2023, Lagos. Hard facts is tomorrow. Good night.
I want to assume that you would run, because I want to give the listeners context for the conversation.
In 2019, you were running mate to Atiku Abubakar. What did you learn then that you will not repeat this time?
Yes, when is the president coming out to address us?
There's a few things. One, I have a burden and a passion for young people.
The fact that you have elected a man does not mean then you begin to order him around. The president will do whatever is good for the country at any given time.
Mr. Adeshino, isn't the president responsible to the people?
What should the next president do to root out stakeholders who are complicit?
You fire those that need to be fired are fired.
It's looking like a brand new Chelsea, attacking with so much fluidity. And what can you say about that, Martin? I know you follow Chelsea quite closely.
I live close to the Chelsea training ground. That's what you mean by that. I'm not.